talking or are we spanking?
Damn.
Oh shit! What up, y'all? That was faster than I thought.
Yes.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning.
Are we talking or are we speaking?
We are. Ooh, that's a good question.
Mhm.
Answer in the question. Answer in the chat, y'all. Are we talking or are we speaking?
Mm.
All right, I'm just posting these links. So, Mrz Parker, you go
Yeah.
ahead and introduce our very, very, very
Yes.
special guest.
Okay, folks. So this is one of my favorite people online. She's actually black, unlike Nova. Okay. And she owns her own. All right. I'm telling y'all, this woman, LAAnime, is the shiznit. The original
What's
lady of
up?
okay.
Hello.
Miss LAAnime from New Orleans.
What's up, motherfucker? No, I'm just kidding. What's up? We in this thing. Oh my God, it's so good to be back. I haven't been on a live in a hot minute. So
I know,
thank
but you've
y'all
been
for
doing
having
the
me.
comic book. Okay,
I
tell the
have.
people about the comic book.
Yes, we
Yes.
are. I am a part of the Hannibal and Monty clique, I guess you would say. But we
Mhm.
are doing the Ultimate Comic Book Movie List channel. So we are on this great mission to rate every comic book movie, manga, any kind of thing like that in ultimate movies. So it's been quite the adventure, but we also do other things like anime, comic books, all kinds of pop culture stuff, wrestling, because I'm a wrestling fan as well. So
Wild.
join us. We appreciate all the people that we can get, the people that have already subscribed. Thank you. So I'm learning. I had to learn how to like edit and all that shit. It's crazy.
Okay, first of all, the best comic book movie of all time is Batman Returns with the
No.
Seal song,
Oh wow.
Kiss from a Rose.
Well,
I just
okay.
like the song.
Well, no, the
Yeah.
whole movie is slaps. The whole movie slaps. I don't
I
care
only know
what
the
it is.
song.
The movies, yeah. Batman Returns was a good one. Well,
It's the
Batman
best
Returns was a
one.
good one, but Kiss from a Rose was from Batman and Robin, not Batman Returns.
Okay, well, shut up. I don't even like you no more. Don't
Well,
keep
I
coming up
mean,
here to
listen,
text me.
I know your comic book movies. I'm just saying before you step to me, you heard me. You know what I'm saying? Know what the fuck you talking about?
Okay, fine. That's the best song from a comic book movie of all time.
It is. It is one of the top songs from a comic book movie for sure. For sure.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah, I don't
goodness.
know nothing about comic books, so I just like listen during this type of shit. I'm just
Ooh,
like, oh, that
who's
sounds
the most
interesting.
useless? Who is the most useless comic book hero of all time? LAAnime.
Ooh, who is the most useless comic book character? Period.
Period. Of all time.
Wasn't there one that was called like Sparkler or something like that? At first, I thought it was
Good one.
Jubilee because Jubilee had the little sparkles, but she wasn't blowing nothing up. But there was like a Sparkler, was it? Where it was just sparkles? Forgot who that was.
I would say it's Arms Fall Off Boy. He is a Marvel character, and he was
Yeah,
made out of spite. And
yeah.
I think he's the most useless character of all time.
You know, when I
Because all
first
he
saw
did was drop his limbs.
True. When I first saw the spot, I was like, why is this a thing? You
Why
know,
is it?
in Spider-Verse, I was like, I don't know why that works, but it, I guess you can get into anywhere and anything with spots that create holes. So, one up for
There we
him.
go. Mm. Oh my
Let me
goodness.
say
I've
what's
never
up.
seen a comic book movie. Oh no.
What
Rain Seattle. You got to step your game up. They're good. They're getting way better now, too.
the
They're
only
doing way
ones
better.
I've ever seen are the ones that my son like wants to see. Then I'll see
Mm.
those. But other than that,
Yeah.
I can. Well, you know what it is too. When I was younger, my brother's heavy into comics, and he used to. We used to spend like the weekends with my dad, and my brother lived with my dad, and so this fool would take us to the comic book store and have us there for hours upon hours looking
Mm-hmm.
for one comic, and I think I hated comics ever since then. I was like, "Oh my god, can we go, please?" And he was just like, he would.
That's how I felt
Because
about
they're set up
shopping
like
for a long
old.
time.
Yeah, I mean, but they're set up like old record stores. You know, you got to
Yes,
go through all the bins and really
yes.
look
Mhm.
through everything. It's tedious work, but when you
It's like
find
if
what you're
Oh,
looking for,
no, it's like
mm.
if you go into Forever 21. It's definitely a clusterfuck.
yeah.
You're gonna
I was
be
like,
there for a hot hour to 2, okay?
I was
Because
like the
nothing
whole
in there is organized. I don't know how
no,
this is a multi-million-dollar establishment, and you ain't even got this bad boy color coded, okay?
right,
Like, I'm walking
The
out.
sizes are all over the place. It's
right,
horrible.
My mental health is not okay in here, okay?
right. I used to be like, damn, the whole Saturday we're gonna be here. The whole Saturday, he's looking for one comic, and I never understood the importance of the comics that he actually found. And sometimes we walk out of there with nothing. Man, oh, you gonna
Even
buy
more
me a
pissed
pair of
off.
sneakers after this? Like, you gonna get me something? But what's going on, everybody? I just want to say what's up to everyone. We got Techie Mommy, we got Ani, we got Lima Amoeba, we got Eileen Ebony, Kitty and more. Cassie, what's going on? Miss Rain
Midwest is in the
Seattle,
building. Mm.
Mistaken Midwest, who's actually going to be on possibly tomorrow. So
Woo.
Sweet.
people love this series. Like,
When I
I
tell you
didn't.
I am obsessed, I sat down and watched the 5-hour compilation of
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
then I
and
watched the son of the first. Okay, you're not even close to where after this.
no.
Yeah, so
Oh my goodness. There's
other
Oh,
more.
people came out after this. Yeah,
yeah, the
Mm.
husband came out, the ex
Mm.
yeah,
girlfriend of the husband.
the
I
ex-wife, the
mean,
son.
ex-wife. Yeah, I was like, God damn! Somebody hit me up and they were like, Yo, I'm watching the video, but I'm telling you right now, y'all haven't even touched the surface. I'm like, really? They're
Oh
like,
my
Yo,
god.
it's gonna get way
Yeah, y'all
worse.
should probably do 10 episodes a thing because
Oh my god.
it's 50 videos in
Yeah,
total, 50 like 10-minute videos. Yeah. Well, she was talking, honey.
busy. He's
She
like,
was
Woo.
like, I gotta get it out. You
Trauma dump like a
you
motherfucker.
could
Like
have just hired a
shit.
professional, honey. You didn't have to dump this on the entire
Mm.
world, but thank you. Because we
right.
didn't have anything to do on Tuesday.
This
I'm
is
just
like the novella I didn't know I wanted to watch. I was like,
I'm
Yo, this
telling
is
you.
amazing.
all
um,
you
I'm
needed
addicted.
was a Hector in the middle of it. Just somebody.
Mm.
dun, 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 dun.
Because I was gonna say you need the music, right? Like we got to get the soundboard of the music when shit gets dramatized. Like
Yeah.
Ah,
Jay Gamer, Ms. Rain Seattle. If I miss you, don't take it personal. And stand hola fola. We got Penny.
hola.
We got PP Gate. We got Midwest. Who else? All right,
I
Marty.
saw Reaper in
Steph,
the chat.
Pharaoh,
Sydney.
Reaper.
Woo.
Yes. Melissa. If I like I said, if I missed you, don't take it personal. What's going on, everybody? We're gonna get into the video. Yesterday we did episodes 1 to 5. Today we're gonna do 5 to 10. Well, that's an hour, so we may even do the next one as well. I don't know. Because there are a lot. There's 50 motherfucking episodes. So yeah, big baby. So yeah, let's get into it, y'all. I hope you guys are
Yeah,
having
get your red flags
a
ready,
Thursday.
folks.
Get the
Yeah.
red flags ready.
oh Lord, this post sweet baby.
I'm so excited.
Let me
I told
bring
you to
this
kennel
up.
train your babies. I told y'all. I need to kennel train them.
Kettle drinking. All right, all right, yeah. Oh God. Well, so when we left her, where was she at? They was at the buying the house thing, right?
They were
Okay,
buying the house thing,
right,
offshore account.
She
They were supposed to be
pregnant.
closing on it. She's pregnant,
right,
and she talked to the realtor who said he don't know nothing about putting money down. So that's where we're
right.
at.
Okay. What's going on, Axelot? Oh,
Hey,
uh, LA. Type something in the chat so I can moderate you so you could drop the link to you guys' show.
Yo,
Channel.
I'm big time.
Look at what he's
doing
giving
the
you.
stuff and
Like
things.
he's paying. It wasn't a question about money. It was just a question of are we really about to move into this house? And keep in mind, he's paying all the household bills. He still is. So We were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close we moved now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on realtor.com. I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual. I know that people are like, you may or may not believe in God, but I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart, probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on realtor.com. So I looked at the house on realtor.com. This was around June 5th. It showed that the house was off the market. And I remember being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house.
Uh-oh.
We're about to close. It's our house. We got furniture, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
He's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend, who was telling him, this is what is happening next. Here's what's going on. So the guy...
Exactly. She's not talking to no... Like,
that's what's killing me.
Right. Like, you're just taking his word for it. By now, I need some type of, like, something.
You just met this man last week. Okay, this is what I'm trying to understand. You
I
met
think
him
we're
last
going
week.
into like a couple of months, right? Like, because when she first moved in, it was 2 weeks. And so now I think we're at like 4 months of this relationship.
Yes, because they moved in March. They moved in at the end of March. And then she got pregnant, I think, in May or June or something like that.
So she's a couple months in.
Yeah. And now they're doing this house, but he got a friend. But you never met the friend who's the realtor. Mm-hmm. Okay. And me, when we got the house that we're living in right now, like I'm literally on your ass about this house. You know what I mean? I want to know. I want to talk to him. I want to hear him. I want to see paperwork. I want to do. How is she just? I guess people just let other people handle stuff, but I don't know how something like that, especially when you just met somebody. It is a pandemic. The whole world is shut down. That you just. And I guess that's how the pandemic really people were somebody said it yesterday, how people were taken advantage of so quickly in the pandemic because it was so like, we don't know what's going on type thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand how you just don't know. I just don't understand how you just don't.
Right. And I mean, it means you're being on the street. So why wouldn't you like double check that information to make sure like shit is on the up and up? I mean, were people that lonely? Because I quarantined with my kid and I really didn't feel no type of, I was fine. I did my online shit and that was where I got my social interaction if I needed any that time.
Yeah, I was pregnant during that time too, so I can understand how she was probably more focused on, so let's kind of go back because she gives you a little bit of hints in the decisions that she's making, right? Mm-hmm. This guy, she's automatically like, let's quarantine. So she's clearly there's something there where she needs that kind of companionship, attention. Yeah. And she's like, if the world's gonna shut down, I don't think I want to be alone, right? Mm-hmm. Really bad move. Okay. So then she gets pregnant. So now she's got the pregnancy brain too, which ain't the best brain in the world sometimes.
That's true.
And I think she's more so like, I'm pregnant for a man that I just met. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got to figure this out. I got to believe what but if somebody's like, yo, I just met you and I could buy a $700,000 house, but you in like a Nissan Rogue, like, how does that work?
Have you seen the husband or the ex-husband?
Oh, I saw him.
We haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him yet.
You haven't seen him? Oh, okay.
He don't look like he could buy a $700,000 house. Is all I'm saying.
He has a TikTok. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And this, I mean, I think Yeah, there is something to be said. The fact that she was pregnant during quarantine. So even if like initially, I mean, obviously those decisions were foolish. Like once she's already in it, I can understand her pushing to want it to work because now you're pregnant by this dude.
Mhm.
Now you're kind of is a quarantine. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen. So I get
Mm,
that, but it's like, damn, girl, like you ain't had no friends, like you ain't had no
mm.
But
like
she
I
wasn't telling her friends.
She
She
was
wasn't
hiding it.
telling her friends. She wasn't telling
Yeah.
her
yeah,
family.
right.
Her mom even, well, never mind, I'm not gonna get there, but
Oh shit.
she wasn't telling anybody what was
Right.
going on, especially with all of these red, quote unquote, red flags that she consistently says that she saw, that she just
Yeah.
blew past. But you also got to remember, he had another wife that we find out about, girlfriend that we find out about, or what, the one that she's talking about. So some women are taking him at face value, you know?
Right. Oh boy.
He must be
Guy that we
good with them
initially worked
gabs.
with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved. So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like now I'm really freaking out. So it
Yeah.
shows the name of the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, my excuse me, I said my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, I pulled that card. And she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there's certain dates I just remember. And I said, oh, it closed June 4th? I was like, really? um, and she said, yes, ma'am. She was like, my sellers sold the house. And I was like, oh, man, okay. Well, I said, my husband and I really wanted, we love the pictures of it. And we're getting ready to start a family. So I would have loved to have been able to, have the opportunity to see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I know why I asked the question because I was anticipating that my boyfriend at the time was going to have some sort of excuse. So I asked her something about the buyers. And I remember, and somehow, again, forgive me, I don't remember the question I asked her, but the answer was that it was an older white couple. Older white couple. So I get off the phone with her.
Oh Lord.
I record an audio diary. And in the audio diary, I specifically say, okay, there is no house. He's going to have to get out of this lie somehow. Because now I realize, at the very least, he was lying about him being the one who was under contract.
I need her to release
I
these
knew enough
audio
about that.
diaries.
So
Right. I would
I
like to
wanna
What
hear
were
hear
this.
you
what she
telling
was saying.
yourself?
Yeah,
Right.
I want to hear what she was saying to herself, because let me tell you something. If you was telling yourself the truth and you still sat in that situation, something's wrong.
Mm. Can't even listen
Right.
to your damn self.
Because
Right.
because this whole thing happens within a span of a year and a half to 2 years. That's really quick.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. I wonder and the fact that she was compelled to like create these audio diaries, I would like to know what she was saying to herself too. Like, fuck it, we don't burst the shit open. Let's burst it wide open. Like,
Hey.
I want to hear what you were saying to yourself. Like, and if
Oh
you
shit.
were, oh shit! Thank you, Anthony Reach, for the super prayer. She admit in the beginning that she was desperate and wanted love and thought this was her time. Deadbeats and vultures sniff desperation and need like sharks. You can't think straight being desperate. That's true. Very
Mm-hmm.
true. That thank you, and thank you, Anthony Reach, for the super prayer. Yeah, yeah, she was desperate, so she's not gonna be the most like realistic. But I really want to know. Like, I'm with LA on this one. I want to know what she was thinking.
so I was like, what how is he going to get out of this? Again, I've listened to the audio diary in 2024. I literally said in that audio diary, how is he going to get out of this lie? And I was trying to think of ways on how he's going to do it. And something said to me, because I say it on the audio diary, I said, he's going to say it's a bad deal. And he's going to say he wants to pull out. Y'all keep in mind, I am pregnant. So I had a decision to make. As ugly as this decision was, I made the decision, you're about to have a baby with this man. He's paying all the household bills. Let him get out of the lie. And that's what I did. I purposely made the decision that I knew he was going to come back, and I knew he was going to give me some bullshit on why he couldn't buy the house, because he didn't know that I knew that house is already sold. The house is already sold.
That's wild.
And this is the part where I said, I'm gonna be honest, even though it's gonna make me look bad, because most women in their right mind would have been like, I'm out.
This is the thing. I give her this because she's in that pregnancy phase. Girl, do you have a clicker to pause the video?
Yeah, it's over. Like, this is...
No, did you just pause the video with a clicker?
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know why my space bar ain't working.
Girl, y'all just blew my mind. I was like, did this bitch just pause the video with a remote control? Is this cable?
Is this cable? Did she
What level of streaming are you have for Zone right now? This is wild.
No, I thought you meant a mouse. You meant a clicker.
No,
like
I'm so sorry for derail. I was like, did this bitch just go?
This next level shit, right? Like,
yes. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, man. Like, I don't even remember what the point was. You can start the video.
She's just amazed by the technology. Go ahead.
Nah, but like, I can understand. She's pregnant. She's ready to do.
Sure enough.
Yeah. She got, I mean, pregnant, desperate, all those things mixed into one. Also, and also there was a whole pandemic going on, and a lot of people were scared.
Yeah,
and I think there was that, like,
I was terrified. Like, so I understand what state of mind she was in, not necessarily before she got pregnant, but when she was pregnant. It's like, okay, even if this man is crazy, I am terrified, because you gotta remember, this is June of pandemic. Pandemic had just happened in March, and we're just like,
don't know what's going
on.
The
world is shut down. Like, the world is shut down. So I can understand her logic here. It's like, okay, I'm pregnant. We just got to get through this aspect of it. But moving for, moving for, yeah, I'm gonna stop. I just, she's wild.
No, and so this whole thing, I think that's what was so. I don't know if she anticipated this, which is why I'm like, if she made this entire thing up, it would be that much better for me, because this is a great.
She needs
story.
to be writing. Listen,
it was an audio book.
I listened to get us a whole story. I want another story from her.
I'm gonna need Tyler Perry to pick it up. I'm gonna need somebody to pick
Tyler
it up.
Perry. No, fuck Tyler Perry.
Or
Rhonda,
whoever it is. Candy Burris. I need somebody to pick it up, because
not Candy.
Candy produces, and she got.
I love me some Candy. Don't get me wrong.
So, yeah, man, I don't know.
Somebody told me not Tyler Perry. They're gonna need Tyler Perry to take a step back, and two, because they want Shonda Rhimes.
Ooh, now that was
Oprah can't touch it, because Oprah fucked up The Color Purple. I don't even know how you fuck up the color. Did y'all watch that?
I did not.
Did you? Oh my God!
I did not watch it.
Listen, the first 30 seconds, you got slaves jumping out of trees doing a whole song. This is flipping and flopping and just jigabooing around. It's
based after the musical, though, isn't it? Not necessarily the book.
But that's exactly. But that's the fucking problem. If you're gonna make it has to be based off the book. We're not taking a Broadway musical and turning it into a movie. That's like you taking Hamilton. Okay, great Broadway musical, amazing. I loved it. I've watched it many, many times. But you can't turn that into a fucking movie. No.
It's like we did it with Les Mis. Let's try it again. It's like, no. You failed at Les Mis. We didn't really like it.
Yes, no.
Speaking of train wrecks,
he came home He didn't really say anything that day. The next day, I asked him about the house.
Oh, Jordan Peele. That's why I put it up. Jordan
Jordan
Peele
Peele's a
Yes,
good one.
would be
Yeah.
excellent.
He
beautiful.
put a
Yes.
twist on it at the end. I don't know if I need Jordan Peele to be.
I wouldn't even mind. Jordan Peele be killing me with these movies coming out. He be getting them,
He would make this
leaving
shit
me
a whole
all
horror.
uncomfortable. Yes, he be making me all uncomfortable and shit. I'm like, ah.
He would make this shit an entire horror movie.
Mm.
House, and he said, my friend, the realtor, he was like, I'm talking to him because something's going on with the interest rate. And when he said that, I felt so much relief because I knew that I had been prepared for he's gonna give you some bullshit. So when he said there's something with the interest rate, I said, you know what? If this is literally what I said, y'all. If the interest rate isn't good, then we shouldn't move there. We should probably let this house go. We should cancel whatever furniture we ordered or appliances, and let's just look for another house. I said I would like to be moved before the end of the year. I said I really don't want to be 9 months pregnant moving into a house. I would like to be done with this before then. And the way I said it was so calm, and he was like, okay. He was like, I'm gonna call the realtor, and tell him I'm backing out of the house, and I'm gonna see if I can get my earnest money back. And I remember looking at him. I was standing in the kitchen, and I cocked my head to the side, and I said, okay, get your earnest money back, and let's find another house. And so that's how that first house fell through. So, fast forward, I keep looking at this to see how much time I have, because they only give you 10 minutes. So this is part 5, part 6 is coming up. But subsequently, what ends up happening the next week, which is mid-June, I was at work, and I started cramping, started bleeding. And at this point, my doctor, I had just had an ultrasound earlier that day. So I went to work because the ultrasound was fine. I went to work, and the cramping and the bleeding started, and I started crying because I kind of knew what was going on.
Oh no.
And my doctor had called me and told me that when they did the ultrasound, they did not see a heartbeat. So she was like, this pregnancy is not going to be viable.
Oh.
So I'm crying and hysterical. And now we're going to get into part 6.
Oh wow.
Okay, let's just pause for a second. I don't know if you guys have dealt with miscarriage or, the loss of a viable pregnancy. I have. And that is horrific. Okay, it is just fucks with your head, not only just your body, because your body is ravaged, but emotionally, you are just fucked up. So my heart goes out to her during that, because that's a stressful situation, and you dealing with a lion ass man. Like, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, dealing with that also, she may have not even had, like, after this point. I'll give her a grace period where she probably didn't even have the bandwidth to deal with, to like really address anything.
For
Like,
sure. Yeah, because it's gotta. Oh man. And it only gets.
Exactly. We all know
I
it
can't
just
even
it gets
formulate
worse.
words, like, for her to
Yeah.
have to deal with that with a man she just met that she knows just lied to her about a home that they were gonna get. So her hopes were probably up for this home. Her hopes are up for this baby, and then that's just
comes crashing down. That makes her way more vulnerable, Axelot. Yep, puts you in a real.
And then it probably makes her way more dependent upon his companionship too. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I'm curious to know how he responded to it, because his response may have really made her ignore the red flag if his response was comforting.
Oh, just wait.
Love bombing. Yeah. All right, let's get there.
Okay.
Just wait.
Okay, so this is part 6 of
Hair on fleek. Love it. That's why you do the rollers.
where we left off. So obviously, my doctor had called and told me there was no heartbeat. The pregnancy was not viable at that point, and I was cramping and spotting at work. Went into my best friend's office and immediately started crying. She was like, "What's going on?" And I said, I told her what the doctor said, and she grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and was like, "Let's go. I'm taking you home."
Mhm.
On my way home, I called my boyfriend and told him what the doctor said, and he was like, "I'll meet you at home." So he was coming from Duluth, went straight home. Um, and so about 24 or 48 hours later, I had a doctor's appointment,
Mhm.
and my doctor gave me three options. First option, let everything happen naturally. Your body will expel the fetus on its own. Second option,
Mm.
Mhm.
you can take a pill which will induce expelling the fetus at home.
Mm,
That's what I had
The
to
pill
do.
basically will cause you to contract and
mm.
expel.
Yeah.
The third option was to go into the hospital and do a DNC.
It's hard
I
to
Mhm.
did not
even
want
hear
to do a
this.
DNC because I did
Yeah.
not want to be in a hospital with COVID going on. Um, and for whatever reason, I did not do the option of let it happen naturally. So I chose to do the pill.
That's what
His
I did.
birthday
That's hard.
was June 17th. My ex's boyfriend, excuse me, my ex's birthday was June 17th. So the decision was made. We're going to celebrate his birthday that day, go out to eat. And then that night, I would take the pill because we both were off from work the next 2 days, next 2 or 3 days. So went out to eat, tried to celebrate as best we could, and then took the pill that night. That night was the most traumatic, excruciating pain I've ever put my body through.
Mhm.
I do
Mm.
not recommend any woman, if prayerfully you don't have to go through that, but I don't recommend taking that pill. If you don't have to, don't do it. Um, I spent the whole night in the bathroom, just
Mhm.
crying in so much pain. I couldn't take. They gave me a narcotic. I couldn't take it because it was.
Is it like the pain that you get when you like they induce my labor? So like it
It's
went
like
from
that.
0 to 100.
Yeah. It
Oh,
goes, yeah, it's just like taking that Pitocin. It
yeah, yeah.
just, it is throwing you right into it. Your
Oh my,
body is convulsing, you are cramping, you are
oh my God.
sweating, you
Oh,
are, yeah, you are literally giving birth
Oh my
to
God.
something that isn't viable, and
Why
then for
didn't they
me,
bring you into the hospital for something like that?
well, that's what happened to me. So like when I had to do it, I took the pill for about a day. It was just excruciating, and I started low key hemorrhaging. So I had to go into
Mm.
the hospital and then have to do the DNC anyway. So I'm with her on, some women the pill works. But if you're a little older, if you have complications, you might just want to go and do the DNC because the DNC is exceptionally painful, but it's a one-time situation. You're going to go in, they're going to make sure everything's okay. You have doctor's care, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you take that pill at home, it's just it's horrific. It is horrific.
wow.
It really is. Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, that. Mm, it well, if it's like that, then yeah, because I went from 0 to 100 on them contractions, and
Mhm.
I thought I was seeing stars. I was like, oh my
Mhm.
god. And
That
then the
Pitocin will get
epidural
you.
wasn't working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, my heart goes out to y'all because because I was a geriatric pregnancy in my old
Yeah.
age. I had to, screw you guys. I had to they were like I had a myomectomy,
Uh-huh.
removal of fibroids. Yeah. So of
Oh,
Mhm.
course, so my doctor was like, well, we got to take him out. Like, you're not gonna have a natural birth. A, because
Yeah.
you're old, and B, because I already went up in there scraping around. So he had it he had a scheduled eviction notice. So luckily I didn't go through contractions or anything
Yeah.
like that. But the pain that I was in the month, like the last month before he came out, is probably the closest I would ever get to what y'all went through
Yeah.
for
wow.
delivery. And that
Hmm.
was excruciating. I couldn't walk because when you ladies, fellas that are in the chat right now, sorry,
Mhm.
but these babies, they split your pelvis open.
Yeah.
So he
Your hips
split,
be hurting like a motherfucker.
yeah, he split my pelvis open, so it was rubbing together, and they called it hot crotch. So
Mhm.
it was the bone was scraping every time.
Ooh.
Mhm.
So it was very, I put myself on bed rest because I was like, he's got to come out. I was like, now
Yeah, you gotta
get
go.
Mm.
him out.
Yeah,
They was like, you want an epidural? All of it, please.
All the things. Give me all the
All
yeah.
things.
of them. I
Yeah.
don't all of them, please.
I chose the epidural too late. Well, I mean, I still got it, but I think I was already too into like the heavier
Oh.
contractions
Woo.
that they didn't get it right because It worked for like the first couple of contractions after I got the epidural, and then it just didn't anymore. And by that point, we were already so into, like, we were into labor at that point. It took me 8 hours, so it was
8
quick.
hours.
Yeah,
See, my first one, I got you beat, honey. The first pregnancy and delivery, that one was about 14 hours of delivery.
ooh,
Okay.
mm.
Second one was about 10
Mm,
hours. Then the last two,
mm-mm.
yes, folks, 4 babies that came out of this hoo ha. Four. The last two motherfuckers got them out in 6 hours or less. No epidural on the last two. Okay.
Ooh,
Pretty much coughed the motherfuckers out.
it's like
Okay.
my
Girl,
mom.
Yes.
you had
I
out
bared
4
down
kids?
4 kids and with a body like this. Tell me I ain't wonderful. Okay. Yes.
Girl, I'm
Yes.
still recovering
She's
from
her.
this little
Yes.
Right.
I'm her. I am her. Me and my uterus have done some things. So when I get it removed, I
girl.
already told my bestie, I
She
was
has
like, I want my
lived.
bitch. I'm keeping my uterus for life. Even if I got to take it out, I'm going to bronze that bitch and put her up on a plaque. Don't play with me.
Clearly,
This is, yes.
clearly, okay,
She is
because
the shit.
she
Yes.
done been through some things. Mine was
Yes.
like,
We did
girl, if
some
you put
things.
another one in here,
Same with me. Mom was like, "You better stop." we, we did this one time, baby.
One
and
and
you
done.
and you surprised me with this one, so I don't know what we. Hold on now.
Mm.
Oh my god.
I found out I was allergic to it, so it was causing me to like projectile vomiting, and it was a mess. So,
Hey, what's up, Michelle?
um, and he was right there. You know, he was scared that he needed to take me to the ER,
Yeah.
but in the morning, the pain kind of subsided. So, about 72 hours later, I had another doctor's appointment where the purpose of this appointment was to do an ultrasound to see if everything had passed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything did not pass. So, because of that, my doctor was like, we're going to have to do a DNC.
DNC.
Hmm.
Yep.
My DNC was scheduled for the first week of July. My boyfriend, my ex, was going to take me. Um, that was always the plan. 2 days before my procedure, he comes home and tells me that he is up for promotion. He's up to be promoted to
Still
VP.
lying. You're
Because of
still
this,
lying.
the
Mhm.
president of the company, excuse me, is coming in, and
The chat is asking, do you have the
this meeting
volume all the way up on her?
Let me
because this
see.
meeting was scheduled for the day of my surgery.
It should be.
All right, this is as loud as it goes.
And
Okay.
so
Yeah, that's what
I'm
it
throwing a
is.
fit because I was like, you there's no way you can do that meeting. Like, I need you to take me to the hospital and all this other stuff. And so he offered to have his sister take me to the hospital. Apparently his sister lived in Douglasville. I was like, no, because I've never met her. Like, I know I'm not having a stranger take me to the hospital. No, this is a private situation. I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. So my aunt had offered to take me. And then my friend who took me home from work had offered to take me. So at that point, we get into an argument because he's like, my sister is, you about your family. So why can't she step in? And I was like, nah, because I don't know her, period.
I
Mm.
never met your sister.
So
Why would I have her
This
bring
is
so
such
my
me
friend
intimate.
offers,
It's an
to?
intimate
Right.
moment.
Yeah, like what? Oh my god! And then you
Yeah,
would,
I'm with you on that.
but you offering it like I knew her, like we had been, like I have
Yeah.
conversations with her regularly. No, she's not
Hmm.
taking me.
Yeah, I would. I think that would have been it for me. Like that. I mean, aside from all the other red flags, that would have pissed me off. Because like, there's a time where I need you not to be an ass, and you can't even do it in this instance. I don't.
Hmm.
Like, what
It's
else do
called
we have?
sick leave. It's called
Right.
sick leave. You got a job. You telling me you are him doing all the stuff and things. It's called sick leave. Okay.
Right.
So you
My
mean to
wife has
tell
to do a
me
DNC. I got to
you?
go home.
Thank you. You mean to tell
Right.
me that if you went to your job, okay, that they think highly enough of you to make a VP, all right,
Mm,
that
Right.
my wife, unfortunately, or whatever, is going through a severe medical issue. You don't
mm.
even necessarily have to tell them what it is, but you can also tell them what it is.
Hmm.
They
Ain't
won't
nobody
allow
gonna buck
you
on that.
to be there.
Yes.
Right.
Mm,
Exactly. That should have raised all the flags. Like, really? You can't get a day, my dude? Like
Yeah.
nothing?
Red flags in the chat.
Red flags in the chat. Don't forget the red flags in the chat.
And who was still going to work in June of 2020 at that point?
That,
Yeah, going in, everything was
Going
virtual,
in,
from what I
everything was
remember.
that
virtual and shut down. So where are you
Mm,
still? Where like I don't know, crazy.
that's true.
mm.
No, I completely yes, that's true. By that point, people were still doing everything virtual.
Shit, even fast food restaurants are gonna let you have a day off as a fry cook for some
That's
shit like
how
that.
fucking
Sorry.
McDonald's would be like, go ahead, go take care of what you gotta take care
Thank
of.
you.
Distress that he's saying he has a business meeting and he can't take me. So I remember being on I-75 on the connector on the phone with her crying because I was so embarrassed that he wasn't going to be the one to take me and that
There is no
I
you
was
can't
needing to
take me though.
rely on someone else to
Yeah,
take me to.
no,
I'm sorry I keep stopping, but
no,
that's
it's
got me,
okay.
Mm.
it's really upset because like there is no you can't take me. There is no you can't make it. There is no you gotta,
Right,
I have a, oh, this can't, no, there's none of that. You're gonna be
This is a
there.
life-changing situation. This is
You're gonna
literally
be
a
sitting in the
life-changing
parking
situation.
lot waiting for me to get out because I would be
Mm.
right.
doing the same. It's
Mm-hmm,
not like
mm-hmm.
I'm going in for a regular teeth cleaning or anything like that. Like this is they're taking, oh, I'm not gonna even get severe because it's making me mad. Like,
Yeah.
you
It's true
know,
though. Like, there's no, oh,
it's
you
our
can't. Yeah.
child. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And this is not only happening to me, it has happened to our child.
That
You
would
should be a part of
also
this.
that would also make me kind of like take pause as well. Like, aren't you supposed to be just as hard? I mean, and I know people handle things differently, but like for him to just like, well, back to business as usual. You're not like. I would be like, wait, we just lost a kid. Like, I'm going into the hospital for them to basically take
Take it
this
out. Like,
right,
Let's be
this
honest, a
baby
DNC
out.
is hard. I'm gonna tell you what a DNC is. What they do is they dilate you and then they scrape your uterus.
Jesus Christ.
Okay? It is a horrible experience. It's not fun and you're awake. You're fucking awake. Okay? You can pay
Well,
extra for the
Mrs. Parker, what they do is
anesthesia.
they call the cops like they do on Nova every time something serious
Uh-huh.
happens, and then they bring you in the OR and then they scrape
It's
your uterus
horrible.
up. But the cops
Like
gotta come first.
mm,
Well,
you're not about to have me getting scraped by myself. This is you. I got to get you scraped out
right,
of me, and you can't be there.
And
Like
I
no,
understand that it's pandemic time. He wouldn't have been able to go up there with her anyway because
but
they
you could
weren't
be sitting in the
allowing no.
lobby.
But you could be in your car if that's where you
Hmm
had
right,
to be, even if you couldn't come through the front door. Like
right.
something at that time.
So yeah, something to show like some support, solidarity, we in this together, that type of shit. Like, you just gonna
But
leave
he
me by
wasn't even.
myself,
Yeah, he's like, I can't even drop you off. Like you can't
right?
even
I got
drop
a
me off,
business meeting. You got a business meeting.
boy. You better
You
business
can
meeting up in
Zoom.
this hospital.
You can
You
Zoom
better
that business
business
meeting in the
meeting me
car.
up in this hospital.
Right.
Mhm.
Like I don't
Especially at
know
that time, like let's not
exactly.
like, especially at what's up, Sargento? Especially at this time, like there was
Mm,
no excuse. Every company was making it so that you can do almost everything remote. They didn't know when people were gonna go back into
hmm
the, so you could have dropped her off, make sure she was good, and then went to your meeting on Zoom in the car or laptop or whatever. Like there's no reason, none. The spices
mm.
can wait. It was a spice
I'm
company,
saying.
right?
I think it was a spice company. Yeah,
Yeah.
spices. Mm.
To the hospital in order to get a DNC done. And she was really great. She was like, girl, this is why you have a village. Like, it's okay. Things happen. The world is crazy right now. I will take you. You're going to be okay.
Oh look, she said I-75, so she was in Georgia. I live in Georgia, and we were definitely shut down. I had a baby in July, and my partner was allowed with me at that time.
Because they allow at least one person in. They
Like,
will do that. Yeah.
could have went in with her. I would have been it. That would have been it for me.
So he did
Sorry.
not take me to the hospital for my DNC. My friend did. She could not stay because of COVID protocol.
hmm
So when they wheeled me into pre-op after I got checked in, I texted him and was just letting him know, hey, here's the update. I'm about to, I'm in pre-op. They're going to get me prepared to go back to the surgical ward or whatever. And the response I got was from his new executive assistant named David. Now, when he told me he was up for the promotion, he did tell me that part of getting this new job would be that he would get an executive assistant named David. And he did tell me, I'm going to make sure that I inform David if you get a text from this number, meaning from me, pull me out of the meeting because, she's my fiance's having a procedure done and I'm picking her up. So it's
When did
important
you become a
for me to
fiance
do
though?
something
Go
serious.
ahead.
Right.
So I text him. David responds. He said, "Yeah, Mr. Blah blah told me that you are having a procedure done. If you need me to get him, I can go get him. He's in a meeting. Just let me know what you need." And I just said, "No, don't bother him. I'm just giving an update that they're about to take me back." And David responds and says, "I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please let me know if there's anything I can do." So I have the procedure. I wake up and I am now in recovery. I should be in recovery 45 minutes up to an hour and a half.
Hmm.
I wake
So
up.
she got the
First thing I
anesthesia.
ask, and I remember asking, is where is so and so? The nurse who was so sweet, she was like, everything went well. You're doing great. She said, we spoke to your fiance. He's on his way. So
Okay.
I said, okay, okay. I kind of dozed back out, but I could still hear everything that was going on. I just could not keep my eyes open to save my life. So I hear her talking
Mhm.
to the other nurse. And that's when she said, yeah, Dr. So and so called her fiance and his executive assistant picked up.
Mm.
And the executive assistant said that he was in a business meeting and that, you could relate to him what you need to say and he'll tell the fiance. And my doctor was like, hell no, HIPAA. I need to speak to
Okay.
him.
Exactly.
So apparently,
Mhm.
my fiance called the doctor back about 30 minutes later, and the doctor informed him she'll be ready to be discharged in about an hour. You can make your way and come pick her up. He said he was on his way. He was on his way from Duluth to Atlanta, which is not a huge distance, but the time of
It's
day, one
not.
thing about Atlanta, there's always traffic. So he should have been there within the hour.
Okay.
I should have only been in recovery an hour and a half. Let's go to the next part.
Depending on traffic,
Understand.
like she
That's
says,
something that I
depending on
know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
traffic coming
So
from Duluth.
I should have been in recovery at Northside
Atlanta's
Hospital for
traffic is
about at
wild.
most an hour and a half. Um, Subsequently, I ended up being in recovery between 3 to 3.5 hours.
Not
And
even
they kept
acceptable.
calling my ex, asking what's the status because they were actually getting ready to do a shift change. So they kept
Hmm.
calling, asking what's the status? What's the status? Like, where are you? I want to say that they called a total of 3 times and they spoke to him twice.
Mm.
Um, so at this point, I knew that they were all like, "Where is her? Where's her fiance? Like, what is going on?" He said he was stuck in traffic, and so he was making his way there. He eventually did get to Northside Hospital, and they wheeled me down because again he couldn't come
I was in
in
Northside Hospital.
just because of the protocols.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
The
I got sick in 2014, I was in a drug-induced coma on life support for like 2 months. Yeah, I was at Northside
oh
Hospital.
wow.
They're the hospital
Yeah.
that saved my life.
Mm.
I was
Wow.
at the good one, girl.
It's a good hospital.
Um, very good hospital. Knowing what I know now, it's insane. Like I know I'm realizing some things now in the beginning of the story because I know more at the end. But how
Mm.
did it take you 3 to 4 hours to get an hour away? Is
Exactly.
that
You done
Right.
stopped somewhere.
Right. Hmm.
you've stopped somewhere? You probably didn't tell your boss that you had to leave if you were at work, if quote unquote you were at
Mm.
work. Like,
Right.
and then if you're a VP, a lot of VPs I know can just leave work. So what's happening?
Hmm.
Exactly. Chantal May said the fact that this isn't the end of her story is crazy to me. Yes, yeah. That's the wild part is that this
There are
wasn't it.
still
This would have been it.
there are still
Hmm.
43 parts to this.
Mm.
Chantel. So you
um,
strap up your bootstraps there.
BGTV said, look, he was cooking meth to make money for his family. Cut him some slack.
Is that what we call in spices now? Okay. Okay. BGTV ain't shit.
So
BGTV had his wife give birth on the side of the road next to his garbage truck when he was drunk.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah, I know.
Pew, pew.
BGTV, where you at? I would have instantly thought he was cheating. Exactly. Like
Hmm.
I would have been like, oh no, something's
Since
not
you
right.
already know he a liar,
Right, exactly.
when I got in the car, and I'm in pain, but yet drugged up, couldn't keep my eyes open, couldn't really, I was just out of it. But I remember him calling my aunt and my mother and letting them know I picked her up. We're on the way home. Let me get her settled, and then I'll give you guys an update. I remember that. What I did not know was that he had texted my aunt and my mom and asked them to not bother me for like a week. Like, just please don't reach out to her. Let her just rest. I am from New Jersey. I am from an African American family. You don't tell my
I'm
black mom
saying.
or my black aunt that, please don't bother her for a week.
Who says that though?
I didn't know this at the time,
Right?
but I'm just interjecting that part. I'm trying to stay in the timeline, but he
This
did
is what made
apparently
me
do
think
that,
he
and my
was
aunt
white
was
at
like,
first. I was like, oh,
"Wow,
this
this
must be a
is
white
weird."
guy.
Anyway,
Because you
It
ain't
don't
gonna
make
tell my
no
mom
sense.
that shit.
I'm saying you
I'm
don't
gonna be
tell
like, what?
somebody's family, look, don't talk to her right now. She's resting. That sounds like some abusive shit all day. I'm coming
Yeah.
over now. Now I'm coming
Yes.
over. Let my
Yeah.
sister tell me, oh, let my sister's husband call me and be like, oh, don't bother her for a week. What you do to my sister?
Right.
Yes. Yeah. You isolating her.
Uh-huh. What are we doing?
anyway, so go home. He waits on me hand and foot. I recover. Just needed about 24 to 48 hours to just get my
Mm-hmm.
mind right. Um, During this time, in between when the house in Douglasville.
Okay, I'm gonna need one of the nurses, and I know it's a HIPAA violation. They can't like explain what happened, but just to explain their interaction, one of the nurses or like custodial staff of the hospital could come forward and just tell us like how that went with between her and like how that actual
The
thing happened.
interaction. Mm.
Oh my god, that would be amazing
Oh
because
my
everybody
god.
else is coming forward, the ex-husband, the son, the
Might
girlfriend,
as well.
Like she
like
could come on and not even show herself. She can be like, "Hey
yes.
y'all, so this is the audio take. I'm the nurse.
Mm.
We called him 45 times actually.
Mm.
She was in
His
recovery,
assistant,
so we
David.
only told her that we called him 3 times and spoke to him twice, but we
Mm.
called him 72 times."
Mm.
Okay. And it was that 67th time that we got him.
Mm.
Right? Maybe we mask your voice and everything. Don't even trip.
Just don't even trip. I got
Hit us
you.
up. We got you. We do have the technology. Hit us
So,
up.
Right?
fell through. We had not talked about a house. So I guess it was about a week later after the DNC. He
What?
decides that, do you want to start looking for a house again? Excuse me.
No.
Do you want to start looking for a house again?
No.
Because of what happened with the house in Douglasville, I felt like I was smarter this time to say, I want to be involved in every aspect because I don't know what the
Okay.
fuck happened with that house in Douglasville. But what I do know is that he lied to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I didn't know then what I know now. I just knew he lied about putting in, or excuse me, I knew he lied about being under contract. So I told him, I said, I don't want to work with your friend who I've never met, never talked to. I know that he has talked to him because he's talked to him in front of me. And I'm going to demonstrate on one of the videos how he used to do his phone calls. Don't worry, it's coming. So we found a new real estate agent, really nice guy. His name was Scott. I am using his real name. Really nice guy. Um, and we told him what the budget was. And Scott was like, okay, when you guys are ready, we can start looking at houses. Try to look for houses that are empty because you can actually tour those. If it's a house
Mm-hmm.
where someone's already living in there, chances are it's going to be a virtual tour because of COVID. So I found a house that I absolutely, in total, we must have looked at about 15 houses. Um, but I found a house in Smyrna that I absolutely loved. We toured the house. Everything about this house was perfect. The house was listed for 699,000. It was a brand new construction build. The only issue was that the basement was not finished. He
Why
wanted the
are y'all
basement to be his
still
man
trying to
cave.
find
Um,
$700,000 homes?
Mm.
Where are the homes that are like 250? One, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It ain't got to be the biggest home, but you need to be finding a home that you can also afford. Like we
Thank
both
Yes.
you.
need to be affording this house.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Not just you.
Individually. Yep.
Crazy to me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that either because in like Georgia, I mean, obviously there's expensive,
It's expensive.
um,
I get that.
right areas, but like in Georgia, I think you could still buy a decent house for like
For
in the
400.
200,000s.
I'm just saying, even if we're doing the
Even
400,000,
yeah,
you know what I mean? At least your mortgage, you're dropping that mortgage down. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
you
Like, you don't want to
put your
take a
money
mortgage on
in.
that you can't afford on your
Exactly.
own.
Exactly.
Period.
right.
And the interest rate was not an issue back then because I bought a house in 2020 and the interest rates were
Mm.
the lowest they had ever been because people couldn't sell their houses because it was the pandemic. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It was a
So
buyer's market.
it was a buyer's market, which is why it's absolutely impossible to buy a house today.
Yeah, it's pretty bad now. And it's just the two of them. Like, why do you need so much house?
I
I don't
promise you,
know.
I'm getting my tiny house. I've never bought a house in my life. Me and Mr. Parker, we had a house together, but now that I'm just me, okay, I am getting me a tiny house. I am so motherfucking excited to buy a house under $10,000. Y'all don't
Oh
even
yeah.
know.
I
Okay.
probably would have spent money on a tiny home for myself. It would if it was still
Yeah,
legal,
Hmm.
you know,
I
because
am
you
so
could buy those.
excited.
Girl, you could buy those off Amazon. I saw it on TikTok the other
Yes.
day.
that's true.
Yes. I
$10,000
listen,
buy
I
you a
almost
tiny
thought
home
about getting that tiny
and it
house on Amazon.
unfolds. They deliver
Mm,
it to your lot and it unfolds.
yes.
You unfold it.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited. It's a little cottage house. I done toured
Yes.
it. It got 2 lofts up top. I'm excited about this. Can't wait to put the tub in. I'm just so excited.
yeah. I
Mm.
was looking at like double wides, the renovated double wides that are
The
like
double wides are bomb.
those are
I
real
Mm.
dope.
understand what you're saying, Chantal. Like it definitely does not make sense what she's doing. But you also
Yeah,
got to think of the people who marry 2 weeks after they meet and they're together
Mm.
25, 30 years.
Mm.
These things definitely happen,
hmm
but she in this situation, she should have asked more questions.
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
I
You
need
know,
to see your bank statement. I'm sorry. Even if a man comes up to me right now, I'm almost 40 fucking years old. You
but you
want to
got to
start a
remember
life?
though. You got to
We
remember though. He showed her the bank statements.
It had
she
the
don't know how to
Chase
look at.
logo and
It
everything.
had the Chase
Showed her
logo,
the
bitch. No. We
right.
need to go to the bank. I need to know what
Exactly.
I'm getting into.
Just
I need
pay
to know what your
attention.
credit score is.
He's
When's the
always
last time you
showing
paid
her
taxes?
emails. He's always showing her emails and he's always
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
showing her screenshots.
Fucking
Yeah.
con man.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. I didn't know that. Well, but you can have the land, right?
Well,
Mobile
yeah, if
home.
you buy the land yourself, you can build a
Yeah.
really nice double wide, but they're absolutely right. If you buy a mobile home,
Yeah, it
especially
does
like a mobile
depreciate.
home park, yeah, within like a second, like a car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
you
know what I
can't.
mean? Like a
You're
I
car.
not
need
gonna
some
make
good
much money
land.
back off of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I went with him to tour this house.
Mm,
So this was already feeling very different than the situation in Douglasville because we did not actually tour the Douglasville house. We only did a FaceTime virtual tour. This house in Smyrna, we toured. We toured this house more than once. Um, and it was gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. So we talked about it. He said that he had the money. Um, again, the
Red
price was
flag.
$699. He said he
Mm-hmm.
felt comfortable putting in an all cash offer. If you remember on the
Red
videos
flag.
before, he told me he had money in his savings from when he played football. So
Red
when he
flag.
said an all cash offer, even I knew you you got that kind of money, like where you can cut a cashier's check for 699,000. And he told me he did. He had money
Mm-mm.
in savings from when he played football, and he was
Red
very
flag. I'm
comfortable
about to look up how
paying
much
all
these
cash for
arena
this home.
football players make. Hold
But
up,
see,
bitch.
and then
Yeah, look it up. Look it
thing,
up. Mm-hmm.
another thing too is they make between like 7,000 to like I think 200,000 or something like that. They don't make very much at all. Um, the another thing too is that it's like, but when I met you, you were in like a studio kind of apartment. You weren't
Right.
you had a car, and not to say a studio apartment is bad. I'm not saying all of these things are bad. What I'm saying is, if you're telling me that you have all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
but your living isn't any kind of small representation of that, then
Right.
the math ain't mathin'. Like it's not the
The math
context
is about to
clues
get
aren't.
real fucked up.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you the math real quick.
te-
Most of arena football players make between $27,000 to $34,000 a year.
yes,
Whoa.
Some of them make as low as like 7,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we all you no.
Oh, sir,
No,
you do not need to be shopping for
sir.
$700,000
and
homes.
that just goes to
Sir.
show that she wasn't googling arena football.
Mm-mm.
But and it's also like, and he said, remember, he had the offshore accounts as well. But it's like, yeah, I
I've
agree with
never
you in the
met
sense
anybody in
that
my life that has an offshore account.
me either. I agree with you in the sense that like your life that you're living prior to her, or the life that he was living prior to her, was like in no way an indication of his stability financially. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, how you jump from a studio to a almost $1 million home, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not saying that living in a studio you can't buy a home because you could be saving up and that's why you live in a studio. But to go and jump for $1 million home, no, or close to 1 million, that doesn't make
It's
any
absurd.
sense.
Like
Yeah,
you yeah, I can understand. And I don't know. I don't know. Cause
yeah,
I was young, dumb, and full of everything back when I was younger too. But it's kind of like from a studio, then you meet a random chick and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go buy us $1 million home.
right, right,
That's a little
right.
wild.
And you're frugal with your money because if you could afford the $1 million
Well,
home, but you was
yeah.
living in the studio,
And you go from your home to paying all of her bills
right, to
to a
then want
million
to
dollar
buy a
home.
the trajectory ain't right. Like that don't make no sense.
The real estate agent, Scott, sent over the paperwork. The paperwork was sent in both of our names. It was sent to my email. That was another thing that I changed after Douglasville. Everything gets sent to me. And then I will be sure that he signs it. So he sent it to me. I looked over the offer. We were going to put in an all cash, full price offer with a request to have the basement finished. Also, we were requesting for the seller to give us an answer within 24 hours. Um, we were requesting a quick closing. These are just some of the things I remember. I remember 24, like I didn't want to wait on y'all think about it. 24 hours, let us know if you're accepting the offer or not. And then also a quick closing because it was a new construction. So we didn't have to wait for the current tenant to move out. We didn't have to do that. So I watched in our bedroom as he pulled it up because it was a electronic document. He signed his name to the offer for $699,000 cash. He requested again, the seller let us know in 24 hours if they were accepting the offer. So we submitted the offer at around 6 p.m. We were requesting that by 6 p.m. the next day, they let us know if the offer was accepted or not. I watched him sign the offer.
But that doesn't mean anything.
I sent
Right,
the offer back to Scott from my email.
right, because it's just the
All
offer. Like
Just an
you,
offer.
right? Yeah, at that point you still gotta
The offer
That's
doesn't
not even
mean
a
that
down
you're
payment or
obligated to
nothing.
actually pay
Right.
the money. It's
Okay.
just that you're offering the money.
Right, and then if they accept it, then you put the down payment and all that, right? Or do I have that wrong? How
Uh
does that work?
yeah, if it's accepted,
Uh huh.
everything is accepted, then you got to make all of your payments. You got to do your
Oh,
down
okay.
payments. You got to, but it also depends, like, was he going through the first time home buyers? Which, if he's paying for $1 million house, first time home buyers is not going to apply.
Right.
Which, again, why don't you just go for that? That's easy money to get a home right there. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is do the program. Um, but you're mute.
You-
You're muted.
God damn it! You're always muted.
Always. It's always listen. Okay, I just got a phone call from my dream job, and they just gave it to me. Mm.
Hey, big farts in the
Okay.
Yes,
chat.
Hey, hey,
yes,
girl.
bitch.
Hey, hey,
Yes, I'm so
yes.
excited. I'm so
So
excited. Oh
excited.
my
Girl, you
god.
better get your life together and show these ragamuffins how they do it.
I'm
Okay,
so
show them how to do it, boo
excited.
boo.
Ah,
Yay. Get your little
and I'm
job
starting
on.
college in June. Stop me if you want to.
Get your little
Mm.
education. Get your little job,
Yeah.
girl.
Get my little doctorates and shit. You know what I
Girl,
mean?
you ain't playing with them.
You have to call me Dr.
Right.
Parker soon. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all ain't. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be extra petty when I get my
Yeah,
doctorates. Y'all
that's
already
what I was
know.
about to
I'm
say.
gonna
Like,
be
forget about
extra
it. Don't
petty.
let Miss Parker have a doctorate degree.
Oh, Lord.
It's gonna be Dr. Parker to you. Um,
Yes.
Well, cake farts in the chat for Mrz Parker. Congrats, congrats.
Mm.
Oh shit.
Now,
All party.
Nova.
Okay.
Okay. First you got the cops, now you got the train. What is
No,
happening?
it's like never. I swear.
Where
Like
do you live? I mean, I
Under
not
the
live
subway, we
on
keep telling
live,
in
but
y'all.
the
my
middle
God.
of hell, apparently. I
Oh,
swear. I was just talking about this the other day because I'm planning. I'm gonna be moving like in the next year or so to like another state finally, and I don't know how I'm gonna deal with like the
the
peace and quiet.
quiet.
The
Like
quiet,
it's
yeah.
so loud over here, and I don't recognize it until I go to Jersey, and even that's kind of loud compared to other places. But compared to here, like and as soon as I step foot in New York again, I'm like, why is it so
Yeah, it's
loud?
kind of
It's
night and
so
day. I
loud.
visited New York a very long time ago and I stayed in Jersey City and it was
Yeah.
way more peaceful and quiet. And then you
Yes.
step off the train into New York and it's like, "Ah," and I'm from the South. So I'm like, ah, how are they walking so fast? I don't
Exactly.
understand.
It's traumatic. It is fucking
It's
Very
so
traumatic.
bad.
traumatic. And
It's
then the person I
horrible.
was with was like, "Don't look up." I'm like, "Why? Why can't I look up?" It was like, "Because they'll
Mm.
know you're a tourist. I'll let you know when you can look up." I'm like, "What
Oh
is
my God.
happening?"
It's
It's
two. It's
terrifying.
two reasons why you don't look up. Number one, that, but number two, because in certain areas, not in the city so much like that, in the tourist areas, but like in different boroughs, people don't pick up their dog shit. So you don't look up because you could
Oh.
walk
And
in
the
a pile
hobos
of
poop
dog
on the
shit.
floor too. Yeah.
Yes.
The hobos will shit
Yeah.
right there in the middle of the street.
I
See, I
had
learned.
a
No, I didn't meet G-Man in Jersey City. Not that I even would have known what a G-Man was
Oh,
back then.
man.
And the masters of the
moved from a busy urban area to a rural. Oh, God, I hate that word. Rural
Rural.
area.
Oh
Rural.
Lord, roll.
I'm like,
Roll.
why? I know I was. I'm gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. I think I'll
Mm.
like it after I get used to it. When I lived in New York City for school, I swear the noise never ended. Yeah, it's never ending. Y'all hear it, and I be doing the best to keep that shit off the stream, but I can't. It's
Mm.
nonstop. Yeah, no, the homeless people do pull like
Well, I mean,
we're
where else they gonna poo? You know what I'm saying? Let's
we
just
are
be real.
damaged people out here in New York, man. I just
Damage.
realized.
That's why there's so much stress. Motherfuckers all got high blood pressure and shit. I know why. You are never
Well,
alone. It's
we
never
just ended
quiet.
Mardi Gras, so there's not only homeless poo everywhere, but there's also
Oh,
probably regular non-homeless poo
mm,
and
Mm.
people poo and also horse poo everywhere.
Mm.
That's Mardi
Oh
Gras
my
for
God.
you, which is
I
why you
can't.
Party.
never wear open-toed shoes, new shoes. You wear either boots or really raggedy shoes anywhere downtown, especially during Mardi Gras.
I'm mad I didn't
Oh,
get my king cake this year. That's what I'm
I
upset
didn't get
about.
any either,
I didn't
and
get no
we
king
have
cake.
had a crawfish shortage, so I am very,
Not a
very.
shortage.
It's because the summer was so bad last year,
Mm.
and the weather has been up and down and stuff like that, and we had a major salt crisis in the Mississippi. All
Mm-hmm.
of our crawfish crops
oh wow.
were affected. So
Mm.
crawfish right now is like $15-$20 a pound when they're
Ooh.
normally at this point around like 5,
I was gonna say I pay like
6.
7.
I
Yeah,
never
Yeah.
had
Okay.
crawfish.
it's bad. It's bad.
Mm.
So pray for us here.
Y'all are suffering out there. That's
I'm
terrible.
suffering. It's
Mm.
horrible out here.
Parties had signed. Scott texted us and said, I got it. I'm submitting it. I will let you know what they say. Let's go into part 7. Sorry. Let's go into part 8. Good grief, this is getting long.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right,
Mhm.
part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we submitted an offer on the house in Smyrna. I sent it over to Scott, our realtor, and next day comes, Scott asks if we can take a phone call. So he calls us and tells us that the offer was not accepted and the builder did not do a counter offer. We don't exactly know why. Um, we don't exactly know why He didn't accept it, but the bottom line is that we figured out later on that he didn't want to finish the basement. So the offer was not accepted. The house fell through. I was okay with that because, again, I knew he had put in an offer. So we continued looking at other houses. We found another house in Smyrna that he really liked. I thought that it was way too big for just the two of us. Um, and so the price of this home was much higher than the $750,000 that Chase had approved for the mortgage. So what he explained to me was that he was willing to do the $750,000 mortgage, and he was also willing to put a significant amount of the money in savings on the house, which meant that he was now comfortable going from 750,000 up to about
Oh
900,000.
my God.
Again,
Oh,
his whole explanation was, I have the money where I can put down a substantial down payment, bring down the price of the home, and then basically mortgage the rest of it. So that was now the plan. I was not comfortable with a home over $900,000. But again, keep in mind, I saw the Chase paperwork. So I was like, I just feel more comfortable sticking at the 750,000 mark. That's what you were approved for. Let's go with that. By this point, this is now fall of 2020. We had been talking about marriage. I had my ring. He had made VP at the company. And again, he was calling me every day from work.
have you seen
I need
his
to kind
pay
of
stubs?
explain how the company was
Right?
ran, because when you think VP, you would think he would be in an office. It was a condiment company. So they actually were producing the condiments. And I'm not saying the name of the company on purpose, but they were producing the condiments in this particular plant location. So a lot of times he would simply tell me that he walked the floor, checking in with his subordinates, basically.
Then
Now,
he's not a
how did he
VP.
go to work? For the most part, at this point,
Yeah, walking the
he
floor
left
every day as a VP. I've
You're
never
not a
heard of it.
VP. Never.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
before I woke up. However, pretty much he wore dress pants, kind of like a dark navy blue cargo pant, and he had a polo shirt with the company logo on it. What I saw a lot of times is that he would not wear the polo shirt to work. He would wear like a company t-shirt. He would wear rubber sole shoes and the navy blue cargo pants.
He's
That
not
boy
a
Now,
wasn't
I
no
VP.
didn't think it
VP.
was a
That boy
uniform, but
wasn't no
it
Thank
VP.
you.
definitely, it reminded me.
He was a line worker.
Exactly. You
Really?
working on the line. You working on the line. You got rubber shoes and just a t-shirt on. You
And
working
the
the line.
cargo
I
and
know
the navy
factory
blue
worker when I
cargo.
see one.
Right.
Come on
I know a
now.
factory worker when I see one. No.
Come on
No.
Right.
now. I ain't never seen a VP go to a production plant, right? And
Every
then put
day.
on the scrubs every
Mm,
day and then put on the
mm,
scrubs with the low lives. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
Right.
My subordinates. No, they're in a suit.
mm,
They
mm.
may even be in like jeans and a polo. You see what I'm saying? Like
Maybe.
they
Yeah.
may even be in the jeans and a polo, but they're
And
not
you
gonna
just
be in
talking
the
in the
cargo
break
pants.
room.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna talk
Right.
to you in the break room or something. You know what I mean? They might
Right.
walk the line once a year for inspections and shit. And that's just good work ethic. But you're
Hmm.
not just hanging out on the motherfucking line with the rubber shoes on.
Yeah,
Not
I
not
worked in a
all day,
warehouse.
every day.
Yeah, I ain't never
Mm,
met no VP in a warehouse ever.
I'm
Even
saying.
when I even when I worked in the office, the only time I came close to a VP was like a general manager.
Dude, when
Nothing
I worked in
beyond
a
that.
company, I worked with the polling company with McGuire.
Hmm.
Motherfucker, I ain't never met the VP. Ain't never met the
Yeah,
VP. VP stays at
me either.
home. They never come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Reminded me of what someone would wear when I worked at Amazon. If you're going to be doing manual labor, he didn't go to
Should have been
work
a clue.
sloppy
Red
looking at
flag.
all, but it definitely was not
Red
suit and
flags.
tie. Nowhere near suit and tie. It is fair to note that outside of work, he was a man who he loved to dress. He loved to wear the latest Jordans. He loved to collect watches. He collected a lot of Invicta watches.
Red flags.
Um, he he loved to collect hats. He wore hats, baseball caps everywhere because he didn't
Another
like to
red
shave his
flag.
head. Um, so in terms of how he dressed casually, the man he could dress. In terms of how he dressed for work, yeah, he didn't dress like a VP. But his excuse was, I'm constantly walking the production floor, and I can't be in a suit and tie walking the production floor where they're creating
VPs
condiments that we're
don't
selling.
walk the production
So by
floor
this
all the
point,
At
time.
all. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like once in a blue moon, maybe once a year, whenever they gotta check whatever their like
VPs
numbers are.
come to check in. He
Right,
would have been more. He would have been more believable if he was like, I became like
a
floor
GM.
lead,
Yeah,
or
Mm-hmm.
like production lead or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
some sort of manager. Possibly you could get
Mm-hmm.
away with like a manager, I'll
You're
even give
managing the
him
floor.
maybe general manager for that plant.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Beyond that, no, there's no
But
way.
he's
Because
dressing like
even
a drug dealer. Listen, let me tell you how many. You know how many Jordans and fitted hats Mr. Parker has. That's why. That's why
yeah.
fucking G-Man thinks he a drug dealer because he wear a drug dealer outfit. I know the uniform when I see it.
Again, this is fall. We're still looking at houses. We're still touring houses as much as we can because it is COVID. We had found another house that we really liked and a house that I really truly wanted to put an offer in on. This was now going to be the second house that we put an offer on. He put in the asking price, I believe, was about 700,000. He put in under asking an offer for about 650,000. I'm guessing, but I'll try to find the house and put it on this and put it on the story. Um, the reason that that house fell through, we found out that the home was sitting on a septic tank. We found out that the septic tank had an issue, and it would have taken about $15,000 to $20,000 to fix the septic tank. The sellers were
Expensive as
not
fuck.
willing to fix the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I didn't really care for the house that much. I'm the one who was like, I don't really want it. So even though we put an offer in, we had 24 hours where we could pull our offer back. And so we did. Once we found out, I believe it was in the disclosure. And if you're a realtor, please feel free to tell me if I'm using the wrong terminology. But I believe it was in the disclosure that they told us the septic tank needs to be replaced. That's when I was,
That's expensive as a
no,
motherfucker.
I don't want
Hell
that
no.
house.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled out. The house fell through. And so I was fine with it because, again, I was heavily involved. I saw him sign the offer. I knew every
I know
step
who
of
else
what
should
was
have pulled
going
out in this
on. Our real
story.
estate agent, Scott, was amazing. But you will see when I get to it where he made a mistake as a real estate agent. So house number 2 fell through. We then moved on, saw a few more houses, and then we get to house number 3. I'm
Mm.
going to pause talking about the houses because now I need to introduce what happened with the cars. Stay
Oh
tuned.
no, the cars.
All right,
Oh yeah.
part 9 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we're pausing on the house stuff. Let me tell you about the car. So when I met my ex-husband, I was driving a 2012 Nissan Rogue, fully loaded. It had quite a few miles on it, but it got me from A to B. It was in good condition, but I was upside down in the car. He was driving a 2018 Ford Taurus, sport mode.
2018 Ford Taurus. Okay. Anthony Reeves, thank you for the super prayer. I have 2 full-time jobs. One of them is at a privately owned medical parts facility. You're lucky to even see the supervisor on the production floor, let alone a VP. Immediate breakup. Thank
Mm.
you for the super
Thank
prayer.
you, Anthony.
Anthony
Exactly.
looking good over there. Hold
Facts.
up. Wait. Put him back on the screen. Okay. How you doing, Anthony?
All right, be careful, Anthony. Watch out. Run.
How you doing? Hmm.
Sport
Little
mode. I know
bald
he had a
head.
sport mode on the car, and I love driving that car. When he told me how he was a regional manager, he told me that one of the perks that came with the job was that he would be getting a company car.
Okay.
And so we spent time going to Range Rover of South Atlanta. We spent time going to Jaguar. We spent time going to BMW. We spent time going to Ford, which was on Mount Zion in Morrow, if you all are familiar with that area. He test drove a whole lot of cars. In the end, he decided on a BMW sedan. I was there when he test drove the car. I got in the car with him. I loved it.
Please don't
And he explained to
co-sign.
the salesperson, I'm getting a company car. I need to get a printout of the full price of the car, tax tag and title, because what my company is going to do is wire over the money for the car. The salesperson was like, okay, apparently that happens a lot. So he gave him a printout with the tax tag and title for the car. In front of me and the salesperson, he called the person in the finance department for his job. Obviously, I have no idea what this person's name is, but he called the person. He explained to them, this is the
It's his
amount of money.
cousin.
He said the president of the company, so and so, has authorized for him to get a car, not spending more than, I think, 90,000 tax tag and title. The BMW came out to just under 90,000. And so I remember this conversation so fucking vividly. So he's on the phone in front. I'm sitting down. The salesperson sitting down at their desk, and he's like, they put me on hold. And so he's like, I guess the person comes back, and he says, yeah, the price of the car is blah blah blah. He was like, give me a second, and I can send you a picture of that printout that shows tax tag and title for the BMW. He gets off the phone. He takes a picture of it. He sends it to whoever. He waits about 10 minutes. He calls the person back. He says, did you get it? Apparently the person did get it. But the person who can actually physically do the wire transfer had gone home for the day. So what he says to the BMW salesperson, he's like, okay, we're going to have to do this tomorrow because so-and-so went home for the day. I don't know who the salesperson is. I can only tell you from my viewpoint what I thought. I had no reason to think this was a lie. I really didn't. Because again, you got to please keep in mind the circumstances that all of this is happening. We're inside the dealership. We're sitting at the desk of this person.
Doesn't mean
he gave us
anything.
the printout. He's
right. I would
have
have
been mean anything because somebody brought you to an open house so you can look at a mansion. Anybody can walk up in there. It's not that's reserved for certain people. Yo, what's up, Hannibal in the building?
Hannibal in the house.
Yes,
Love me
that is
some
my
Hannibal.
that is my best friend, brother, and co-host of the Ultimate Comic Book Movie List channel. I need to drop that link in the chat. But yes, thank you for joining us, Hannibal. Appreciate it. We are actually rendering and getting ready to schedule our next episode, which is tomorrow. Yay!
I caught the last. I don't know. Y'all caught the last shit show with Hannibal and Monty. That shit had me dead.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. I have to go back and watch that because oh my God, I was sitting there like I was doing something and I was like, fuck, they're talking about Tom McDonald and
Hannibal loves him some Tom McDonald. That's his new favorite rapper.
Oh my God. That's Tom McDonald. I've become like kind of obsessed with how bad his music is, but also like the fan base around him. Amazing. I was like, yo, damn, I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch it. It's so good.
Definitely go catch the shit show. It's very funny. It's a lot of fun.
That this dude McDonald said that rap made him start using drugs.
It was his gateway. Yeah, he got addicted to drugs because of rap music. And the motherfuckers in Canada, they only got like 4 black people in Canada. Okay. And Drake came from Canada. All right. No. I don't understand.
Yeah, Tom McDonald, man. Have you heard the new one that he did?
Yes.
The one with Ben Shapiro? Oh God. All right.
Oh my God. The Ben Shapiro. Oh my God. Ben Shapiro, it was horrible. I can't even, it was so heavily edited. It was so heavily edited.
And apparently those were tweets. Like the Ben Shapiro's quote unquote bars were tweets of his that he just put into the song or something like that.
Oh, that sounds like Nicki Minaj's diss to Megan Thee Stallion.
Right?
Yeah, I said it.
Oh man, yeah, definitely go drop if you can LA, or if not, hold a photo, drop Hannibal Monty's channel, and I know you just dropped you guys' comic book channel. So
yes, check us out. We're trying to build this community.
And hit the like button, bums.
Yes, hit the like. You guys are what you say, Nova? Trifling.
Oh,
trifling. Show me your ass. Like
that completely caught me off guard.
Flip it.
Oh my God.
We don't have
saying, look, I need,
so we don't have
how much money
right?
Going to cost.
And menacing, show me your asshole.
Oh my God. It's horrible.
The ultimate. Okay. Yeah. LAAnime dropped it, Hannibal. And then also the shit show, Hold Folder dropped it. So yeah, go sub them up. Go watch the shit show. Go watch the comic book videos. They're all good with, everybody's growing around here. So it's good.
He's taking a picture of it. He seemingly is texting someone saying, this is how much, this is proof of how much it is. Then he asked the BMW salesperson, I need your wire transfer information. The guy got up, rushed over to, I guess, their finance area to get the bank wire information, because obviously you have to wire it a certain kind of way. Rushes back over, gives it to my ex-husband. My ex-husband's like, okay, first thing in the morning, we will get this wired over, and then, I'll come and pick up the car. My fiance, me, will drive me up here to pick up the car. So we leave. He felt like, because at the time that this all happened, I was pregnant. So he felt like, look, we're about to have a baby. I don't want you driving that Nissan Rogue. I want to get you something more secure, something new. I really wanted a Kia. I really wanted a Kia Telluride.
A Kia.
And he was like, well, let's look
Sensible.
at this man knew a lot about cars. He knew a lot about the warranty. He knew a lot about the depreciation value. And so he did talk to me a lot about what will we get the most for our money. We test drove, when I say we, I test drove a Kia Telluride, a Kia Sorento. He didn't like either of those. He had me test drive a Ford Explorer. He didn't really care for that. Then came time where he really wanted me to get a BMW.
No, she's no longer pregnant at this point.
He really wanted me to get a BMW.
No, she was
X5.
still pregnant. She had paused on the houses. This is when she was still pregnant. She paused on the houses to go back to the car situation, which was during the time.
Okay.
Yeah, they were looking for houses and cars at the exact same time. Kind of.
Yeah.
Jesus.
5. So he took me to Global BMW Imports, which, if you know anything about Atlanta, it's off of Cobb Parkway, but you can see it off the highway. I believe 285 is where you can see the Global Imports BMW dealership. He took me there. He had me test drive an X5 and X6. He also had me test drive I think I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, a 525, which was a sedan. I did not like that. I wanted an SUV.
No, Sargento, I don't like the shape of Kias. I do like Hyundais though, like the Hyundai Santa Fe, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right one? That one is a nice one. I like the Santa Fe. I would get that one, but the Kia shape is fucking gross as far as the ones that I know. That's the box one, right? That's the square one. And you don't buy cars when you're waiting for a mortgage to be approved. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because
isn't y'all are doing too much
credit?
money. It looks horrible.
Yeah, they both hit your credit. They both hit your credit pretty hard. They're like high level inquiries.
Because I remember when my kid's dad was looking for his house, he told me he didn't want anything else hitting his credit at that time because they were trying to buy a house. So
don't tell me the BMW was in her name. That's why I'm mad about.
BMW. He also had me drive an M Series, test drive an M Series. So he was very adamant that I should get a BMW. The reason being is because, according to him, he had a BMW in California when he lived in San Diego. He had a BMW that he loved. It was a white BMW.
Hello.
He showed me pictures of the BMW. So he showed me pictures of this white BMW that he had, and unfortunately, the car got totaled about 2 months before he moved to Georgia.
Of course it did.
So he had received money, not a lot, but some money to get another car, and he used it to get the Ford Taurus because he was like, I just need a car that's going to get me from A to B until I get into a house and I'm much more settled. For him, he was like, I'm really giving myself 60 days to get settled here in Georgia after moving from California. But then he met me. Again, that's the story.
Pause.
So yeah, I mean, test drive the BMW.
Pause. No. He already told you, okay, I had a car, it got totaled, I'm moving here, and I didn't want to get a new car, a fancy car, until I got into my house. Why the story changing now? Why all of a sudden we got to get the car and the house at the same time? Can't we just stick to the same motherfucking program you was on before?
And apparently he don't want her in a Taurus while she's pregnant.
That don't make no motherfucking sense.
It don't.
Still red flags. All the red flags.
I don't know how many pregnant women running around in a Taurus. Get that bitch serviced. What are you talking about?
It don't make no sense.
You can't be pregnant in a Taurus. When?
That's a BMW pregnancy. That ain't no Taurus pregnancy.
You don't get the fuck out of here with this shit. My baby ain't riding around in no Taurus. My uterus can't be in a Taurus.
How dare you? How dare
Not my fetus. Not my fetus.
especially a 2018 Taurus. I mean, if it was maybe like the
Gross.
2020, then I
My
can see
fetus
it.
needs
But
a BMW at least. I don't know what y'all
listen,
talking about with your
my
fetuses. Y'all
fetus is
child
not
abuse.
allowed to be in any car under the year of 2019.
Fuck out of here. The hell kind of
Okay.
fuckery is this?
Yeah,
And she
Taurus
was
is
going
pretty
along
nice.
with it. She just like, yeah, let's get a brand new car. Let's get a
Right.
brand new house. Let's,
While we're having a baby. Like, one of these
Again,
things has to stop.
$40,000 a year for a baby, y'all.
my
40,
Right.
question is, why
40K.
haven't they, if they're having a baby, why haven't they started buying stuff? I mean, I get it, it's
Mm,
super early in this pregnancy, but
Hmm.
you're starting to plan for the baby. You're not like, well, I guess at the time we were like, well, we probably need to get a house because we're gonna have this baby and stuff like that. But a house would be more important than a car, I would assume.
Right. I would think
okay.
so too.
You had the last baby, Miss LAAnime. You had the last one. Yours is still
Yeah,
running around being mischievous. How
he
much
is.
money you spent on the first year? How much you think you spent
Rough
trying to take
estimate.
care of him?
Girl.
Infamil is $50 a box now. So what you doing?
Well, we had to get
Is it?
like the Similac that was like the premium because
Hmm.
he had a really he had an
Sensitive
issue
tummy.
with milk. Yeah, sensitive
Yep.
stomach.
Yeah,
And
me too. I
those
had that
were
too.
at least what, $20-$30 a pop
For
from
the
Yeah, they were
smaller
Walmart?
ones. Yep.
30. They were 30 when my kid was a baby. So
Yeah,
yeah.
so they were
Yeah.
still 30 something a pop, so we
Mm,
had that, diapers. I mean, thousands of dollars.
So
thousands of
Thousands of
you're
dollars.
so
dollars.
you're
'Cause
buying it. Okay.
we lucked well, no, I was just gonna say we lucked out because during the baby shower we got a
Good.
good chunk of everything that we needed,
Hmm.
thank goodness, but shit, to this day, we 3 years in this game and I'm still spending thousands on this little nigga, like,
Thank you.
he
Thank
refuses
you.
to potty train. He's just like,
There,
"Psh, in the potty? What? This
yeah, I'm
convenient diaper?
It's for
Mommy, you better keep
amateur.
buying these Pampers. Stop playing with me."
exactly. Better
Yato
give me my
said
pull up.
Yato said didn't get much for a BMW. That's bullshit. I seen a 2002 get totaled out for 4 Gs. Yeah, because BMW's got the what? The foreign parts and shit like that, right?
Hmm. But here's the
So
thing, though. Here's the thing, though, Yato. He's got like $100 million in an offshore account, so none of this should have mattered.
exactly, it's light work. Cannibal said, "Damn, I feel bad. What's wrong with getting someone pregnant in a Ford Taurus? It's a reliable vehicle."
You
I
didn't
don't
say
know,
have her
Hannibal.
pregnant in the fort. Oh,
You
Lord.
can't get them pregnant in the Taurus. We can't drive the fetus in the Taurus, okay?
Right.
You and your low budget fetuses. I need to step your fetus game up. Man.
Step your feet.
Great value ass fetuses.
Oh, man. These nigga got them check fetuses.
This is ridiculous.
Them clear American fetuses. You better stop.
Oh no. That's why your baby fucked up. No, no.
Diet fetus.
Frills.
Y'all drinking that diet fetus.
Ugh.
No frills fetuses.
Low rent uterus having bitches. No.
You know what I'm saying? Corner store gas station fetus. You know what I'm saying? Let me borrow $20 fetus.
Ugh. Can't stand these those
So much
trifling
so,
ass
I loved
fetuses.
the BMW. Loved it. I wanted a dark blue BMW with cognac interior. I wanted an X5 and I wanted an M series.
Girl, but can you
So I can
afford this
clearly tell
though?
y'all
Right.
that's exactly the car I wanted. We were online looking for that particular car because not every dealership had it. I was okay with a black BMW if needed. But I really wanted dark blue and I really wanted that cognac colored interior. So he felt like I want you to consider all of a sudden an Audi Q8. Let's just see how you like it. If you don't really like it, then we will go back to the BMW. I cannot tell you why he switched up. I can't. But I can tell you he took me to an Audi dealership on Peachtree Industrial. He test drove an Audi and I test drove an Audi Q8. I loved the Q8. Loved it. But I was tired of test driving cars. By this point, I had test driven so many cars. Our weekends were spent either looking at a house or test driving cars. And I was picky, I will admit that. So he had me test drive the Q8. I really liked it. I finally just told him, look,
Not
I'm
the
good with either the
Timu
BMW or the
fetus.
Audi.
Y'all are
Because
trifling.
I'm tired of test driving cars. He told my family he was buying me a new
Excuse
car
me,
because
it's not
keep in mind
Timu,
he had
it's
not
Temu.
keep in mind.
I'm
According
sorry.
to the, it's Temu, according to the Super Bowl commercials.
I'm
Apparently,
sorry.
we have been pronouncing it wrong this entire time.
Oh my god.
But
The
is it
Timu
Temu?
fetus.
It's Temu.
Temu.
Oh,
They're like,
okay.
Temu
it's
fetus.
Temu. Like that was the commercial. It's like, so it's not Timu.
We've been
So you mean to
mispronouncing
tell
that all
me
the time.
this whole time? And they just let
Oh
us.
my oh Jesus. Oh.
Man's a window shopper at best. Yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Michelle, all day.
Keep in mind, let me let y'all know. He had met my family initially on Zoom because again we were locked down. He had met my
Oh
family.
my God.
He also had met my family in person because at this point it was like, look, if you're not showing any symptoms, maybe we can do family dinner. And so we had. So he had met my family in person. And now we will go ahead and move towards part 10 of this series.
Oh my Jesus.
Okay, part 10. Who the fuck did I marry?
Wait, did she just
Okay,
click
I
the
had to sneeze.
video or
All
that's
right,
a
so at
smooth
this point, I had
transition?
test driven.
Yeah, she turned it off
You only get 10 minutes per
on
upload.
TikTok.
Yeah. So she's doing that and just going over and over and over again.
That's why
Yeah.
it's 50 episodes of this shit.
You could have just went on YouTube and gave us a, you know what I mean? But
It was
it's
a
cool.
full
Right.
version, but make your money.
Whatever.
I hope she's making money off of it by this point.
Oh, yeah. Somebody had put like the projected for what she may be making. I'm talking like thousands of dollars because
When
I
she
think the
first-
videos in the millions.
When she
Yeah.
first started posting them, she didn't have the following yet.
Mhm.
Right.
So I think by now she should be making money off of all those videos
Yeah.
at this point, at least
That's
for the
good,
next
though.
couple days to a week as people
Yeah.
continue to find
Mhm.
it.
I hope so. Hell yeah. For because if this is all true, the way that she's telling it, I mean, she deserves
I mean, there's a
it.
part. There's a part of me. I gotta bug back on that. You don't deserve to get money off your stupidity. No,
She
you
does. Let her
stupid.
be stupid and make money off
You
of it.
gorilla glue
No,
bitch.
it's not
No,
like she was just stupid. She was stupid in 2022. I mean 2020.
was-
Okay,
but it
she's
was
learned
stupid
from
for
her
so
mistakes.
long.
She learned from her mistakes. It's 2024, and now she's ready to
To
tell the story.
donate
and
that
make
money.
money.
She needs to
Don't-
donate that money to
Girl,
somebody.
I would
I don't
donate
know.
a
To the
penny a
orphanage.
week. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That money is donated to my mental health. Okay.
That money is donated to my bank account.
Hello.
Absolutely not.
That
Driven
money
all
is
these
donated
cars.
to my
Kias.
offshore accounts.
Right. Right. Yeah. Apparently, she made a lot of people on TikTok been saying she made 64 grand
Ooh.
allegedly, possibly.
Possibly. You better pay your taxes,
Jesus.
girl.
Yes, pay them taxes.
Hell, he even had me test drive a Nissan Murano, but the main two were BMW and an Audi. He had told my grandfather he was getting me a car. He had told my aunt he was getting me a car. That he was going to, he was like, she's going to be my wife. I want her to be in something secure. So my family was really like, wow, wow, who knew that he had this kind of money? And so I hated the fact that he did that because anytime he got around my family, here's another red flag to put in the United Nations of red flags. He would always talk about money and he would always brag. I never realized it in real time. I didn't realize it until I was out of the situation. He always bragged about the fact that he could fight, the fact that he had money, and the fact that he played football. Those are the three things he always bragged about. Back to cars. So I told him,
how old is he? He bragged about being able to fight. I don't think she's in a creative beta on TikTok, but someone said Amazon and Netflix want the rights to the story.
Ooh.
I'd go with Netflix. I wouldn't go with Amazon.
Would you go with Netflix over Amazon?
Netflix is gonna give you the bag for it.
Yeah, Netflix pays their directors a lot of money for those Netflix originals.
That's true.
I was like, pick one between the BMW and the Audi because you said you're buying it. So pick one. So this man shows the Audi. So he takes me to the dealership. I wanted a white Q8. He does give me the printout of how much it's going to cost, tax, tag, and title to get this Q8. Gentleman who's helping us gives him the printout. He's saying he's going to pay this money for the car out of the savings account that's offshore.
Mhm.
That's the story.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. So he apparently is asking the guy, is there a holding fee? Can I pay a holding fee to secure this car while I'm working to get the money transferred?
This guy loves to utilize the holding whatchamacallit. Remember with the
I mean,
appliances?
he
Yes.
loves to act like he can put. I'm putting down payments on everything and signing contracts and just not doing nothing
I
with
just
it.
gotta let this. I just gotta get the money from my offshore account. Like, wait, why don't you get the money from the offshore account and then we go buy the
And
car? You
then
say, you know what I
right.
mean? We can walk in there with cash. What are you talking about? You got it like that.
He loves holding some shit around. Like, can you hold it everywhere? I never seen a rich person want everything held. Like,
I'm
like
saying,
utilize that. That's like layaway in a sense, no? Or is it
yes.
not? Or is it just
I
hold?
mean, you're not really like with a car. You're not like they don't do layaway with cars,
But
but
this is
Yeah,
the
yes,
no.
thing. Even with layaway, you got to put something on it. You
yeah.
know.
Right. Yeah. He just be signing stuff. That's it. That's it. He
Nigga
just signs
credit is
stuff.
fucked.
That's what he
His
does.
credit
He
is
just signs stuff.
fucked.
And little does she know, he could be going back and being like, "Let me go ahead and get that deposit back. My job actually said." You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
like,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
He'd be looking at the fine print, like how long you got until you could get your,
mm.
or you can't get that deposit back. He turn right back around and get it back.
Transferred, because obviously with COVID, it's going to take long for the banks to transfer the money. Side note, I need everyone to understand, one of the reasons why he was able to get away with the stuff he got away with is because we were on lockdown. It's crazy because it's now 2024, but I don't know, do we all remember how it seemed like a lot of stuff stopped in 2020? Now, keep in mind, that's not an excuse I'm
Things were
making because
slow,
shit
yeah.
still got done. But in terms of business as usual just was not happening in 2020 at this time. So when he's saying, "Oh, it's going to take a while for the bank to transfer the money," the gentleman who was working at Audi did not even, he didn't make a face. He didn't blink. He was like, "I know it's going to take a while because of COVID." So basically what ends up happening is we leave. He has the printout. He calls the bank, or he calls his financial advisor, who does have a name. The financial advisor's name is Eric. I feel comfortable using certain people's names, especially if we find out they didn't exist.
Ah!
So he calls Eric. He tells Eric in front of me, "Hey, I need to transfer $72,526,
Oh
whatever
God.
the amount was, because I'm buying a car for my fiance. This is the bank account information. Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or do you need me to email it to you?" Pause. I can't hear what the person's saying.
Wait, but if he's talking to his financial advisor, wouldn't the financial advisor already have the
Thank
bank account
you.
information?
they
Thank
would.
you. Because you're my advisor. You already have this.
Right.
You are employed to do this for
They're
me.
literally the ones telling you this is a wise
It's
decision, what
kind
you
of
They're
can
like
in
do
the
the only.
there.
description.
They're the only
Right.
person in your life that is contracted to have all of your personal financial information.
It's in the
Right.
job. Like it's literally in the job description. Financial advisor.
Right. Like, okay. I'll make sure I'm not bugging. I'm like,
Because the way
oh,
she's saying it is like this financial advisor handles his books and his money. So that's the way he's presenting it. So why wouldn't
right.
they have, like you said, why wouldn't they have that information at the
Mm,
ready?
mm.
Right.
But that's what he would do. "Do you need me to give it to you over the phone, or can I email it to you?" Okay. Okay. All right. Give me a few minutes and I'll go ahead and email it to you. All right. Let me know. I'll call you back to find out if you received it. Okay. Hang up. So I'm hearing this because, again, I'm not paying attention to, did I hear anybody on the other phone? Did I hear anybody on the other end? So he proceeds to type up an email, type up something, telling him this is the information that we need. I didn't think anything of it. He called me at work the next day to tell me that the money was sent to Audi, that he called Audi and he confirmed with Audi that they received
Oh
the money.
Lord.
What he told me is that the car is going to be delivered to the house. Y'all, it's not that I lived in a hood, because I didn't, but I did not live in an area of Clayton County where you would have a brand new Audi delivered to your house.
So you
So I
lived in the
remember
hood.
saying to him, "I don't want that car."
Right. Exactly.
Like
And
if
if
you're
it
not
wasn't the hood,
go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say if it wasn't the hood, then why couldn't you at least like I understand maybe when your kid gets to like grade school age, you want to live in a specific type of neighborhood. But like
Mm-hmm.
up until that point, you're the only one taking care of them unless you have like a daycare. Why wouldn't you stay there for the years up until they get to grade school? Take your time, get your house, get the one that you really want
Right.
and like just have because she says she had multiple bedrooms in the
Mm-hmm.
townhouse.
She had like a 3-bedroom townhouse, 3-bed,
Mm-hmm.
4-bedroom
Which would
townhouse.
have been enough for a nursery. And the first 3 years of a child's life, they ain't doing shit but trying to kill themselves. So,
Hello. I'm just trying to figure out why was none of this conversation, let's prepare for this baby to come.
mm-hmm.
Right,
On top of that, if
exactly.
you don't think you can have a car delivered to your house, maybe you don't need that car, homie.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't feel safe enough to have your car delivered, then you live in a hood or some
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
form
that's
of
true
You
too.
gonna
hood
end up
where
on
you're
bricks
very
the same
uncomfortable.
night. Come on, get the fuck out of here. You doing too much. Doing too much. We're doing everything out of order. We're doing shit out of order.
Right, putting the cart before the horse. Is that the phrase?
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
so. We're jumping the shark on this one.
My dad used to say that all the time, putting the cart before the horse.
Mm.
Like delivered to the house, not yet, because I need to put that car in the garage. And my Nissan I only had a 1-car garage, so my Nissan was in the garage. So he said, okay, well, let me call them back and change the delivery date. Can you be home or can you do a half day? So he's asking me, can you work a half day so that they can deliver the car and you will be home for it? I said, yes, that's fine. Because again, it's COVID. I'm working from home anyway. I
Mm-hmm.
only had to go in the office 2 days a week. So I'm at home the next day. He told me the car would be delivered between the hours of 1 and 3. Obviously, between 1 and 3, nothing happened. So 3 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
I called him. He's at work. He sends me the voicemail. He calls me back. I said, it's 3 o'clock. No one ever came with the car. What's going on? And then I remember I was like, well, do I need to call Audi myself? Because I thought that you handled it. But if you didn't handle it, do I need to call them? And so whenever I would suggest I will handle it, he would get very, very defensive. Red flag
Red
number
flag.
472. So he was like, no, I will call Audi. Don't do anything. I'll call Audi and find out what's going on. Okay. So I'm at home chilling, cooking dinner, normal night. He calls me back and says, yeah, the car was stuck on the truck in Spartanburg because apparently that's where their deliveries come from. So when he told me this, I was in the kitchen laughing because by this point, I will be honest, and I told y'all I'll be honest even when it makes me look bad. I was guilty of, on one hand, I believed him, and on the other hand, I was like, let me see what lie he come up with. Let me just see. But keep in mind, my brain was really like not rationalizing, not comprehending how deep the lie was. I just thought that no one told him the car was going to be delivered, and he made that up. I had no idea how deep the lie went. So he said, the car's in Spartanburg. It should be delivered this weekend. The weekend came, he had a whole other excuse. I don't remember what the exact excuse was as to why the car was never delivered. I do remember we got into an argument and I was like, don't even worry about it. I'm going to get a new car my damn self. I don't even need your help. Which is probably one of the worst things you can tell a narcissist because they love to be the hero. It's all about them. But I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll get when I have the money to get a car myself, I'll do it. I don't want to hear anything else about a new car. I don't want to hear shit else about a car. Because at this point, I was spending way too much time trying to figure out, are we getting a car? Are we getting a house? Like, what the fuck is going on? Always there was an excuse. So when I told him, I don't want to hear anything else about a car, and I am not going to a dealership to test drive another car, that ended that whole discussion right there. So this is where I'm going to interject what I believe was happening. I believe that my ex-husband is the type of person, he gets off, nut. He gets off on you being excited about something that he knows you will never get. So I believe that he enjoyed going to car dealerships. He enjoyed watching me test drive a car and get excited about it, knowing I was not going to get it. It is the level of cruelty. And again, I'm telling y'all stuff that I found out way later on. It is the level of cruelty that I still cannot comprehend. So the
All
whole
right.
issue about
Do you think that he gets off on her getting excited about these things, or do you think that he gets off on um? See, I don't know. Do you think it's that he just gets excited off of like bringing her like this? I guess like getting her hopes up and then crashing them.
Maybe not that, but the fact that he wants to pretend to be this man that he's not.
Mm,
So if he's spending all
Right.
his time when he's with with her family talking about, oh, I can fight, I got all this money. Every time he's talking to her, I used to be an ex football player. He likes this persona that he's created, and
Mm-hmm.
people like that go shopping. They drop big money, so he likes to pretend to live this lifestyle, knowing good and goddamn well he can't.
Right.
That's what I think it is.
Taylor Noir says the attention and emotional manipulation is called a narcissistic supply.
Yep, keep him
Yeah, I
coming
think he
back.
likes. Yeah, I think he likes the idea of, yeah, I could go look at these houses. Yeah, I could go look at these cars.
Mhm.
And I can always back out of it, and I can always make excuse. I don't know what it is in his head, but it's. I think it's the idea. It's all of the idea about it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
Mm,
next level narcissism for
he's got to
real.
put up these fronts, and you're gonna hear later, kind of not where he gets this from, but kind of. I don't want to say too much without saying too much, but
Okay.
later on, when things start to kind of unravel and she's finding stuff out and more things are getting revealed,
mm,
because it does seem like he kind of gets a little bit off of her reaction to those things.
Mhm.
So
uh,
I don't know, because she doesn't give you that deep of an intel understanding of his emotions, like what he's
right.
the reactions he's giving, kind of.
Mhm.
Mm. We're gonna have to look at his TikTok because I did see some
Girl.
of the video and he
Yeah.
called himself the relationship man.
Yes, honey. He was trying to give relationship advice.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes, ma'am, he
Yes.
is on TikTok.
Okay. Yes. This is going to be a saga for us. So
It
y'all might
really
as well
is.
just get ready in the mornings because we're doing this for the
Ladies,
next month,
if you
apparently.
love your
Right.
man, like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
all about it.
exactly. We're gonna be
We
doing
can
this for the
sprinkle in
next
a little
month or
Negro
so.
Ninja and some,
Right.
and of course D-Roy. So we just sprinkle them in every once in a while. This is what we're doing now. This is life.
Yeah, this is it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
the BMW and the Audi, I think he just enjoyed seeing me get excited and then pull it away. Part
Hmm.
11 coming up. Okay, part 10. Who the fuck did I marry? Okay, had to sneeze. All right, so at this point, I had test driven all these cars, Kias. Um, hell, he even had me test drive a Nissan Murano, but the main two were BMW and an Audi. He had told my grandfather he was getting me a car. He had told my aunt he was getting me a car. That he was going to.
Oh, electrically active. I think I might throw it up the next one. I'll throw up
Okay. We do the
like because
reveal.
yeah, like we'll go through maybe a few videos from his TikTok. I'm gonna put them together on a video, and then we could go over them on the next stream.
I am
Because
not gonna lie, honey. There are some sexy ass workers next door working on this house, and you know these countrymen is built different as hell. He
Yeah.
thick as fuck, just pulled up in a big old red truck. Bitch, I about to go outside in my Daisy Dukes.
Hello.
Listen, pasty. I've been thirsty. Bitch is thirsty. I need to
Listen,
drink. I am.
go find you some recovery peen, okay?
I'm
Because
dying.
it's
Bitch
all a
is
part of
thirsty. I'm over
recovery.
here being all parched and shit. Looking at
It's
this. This is
all a part of
delicious.
recovery, girl. You gotta clean out all the cobwebs, honey.
Oh
Get
my
all those
goodness.
get all those toxins out, honey.
You
Hello.
gotta get the toxins. Yes, yes,
You
yes.
gotta get them beat out of you, honey. Okay.
He was like, she's gonna be my wife. I want her to be in something secure. So my family was really like, wow, wow, who knew that he had this kind of money?
he
And
didn't.
so I hated the fact that he did that because anytime he got around my family, here's another
His
red
credit
flag to
score
put
didn't know.
in the United Nations of red flags. He would always talk about money
Bank.
and he would always brag. I never realized it in real time. I didn't realize it until I was out of the situation. He always bragged about the fact that he could fight, the fact that he had money, and the fact that he played football. Those are the three
Mhm.
things he always bragged about.
Money, fight,
Back to
football.
cars.
I mean, that's a
So
red flag
I
right
told
there.
him, I was like, pick
All
one.
day.
He
Yeah,
ended up
like how old are you that you like telling me about how well you fight? Tell me how well you can diffuse a situation. I like
No.
people who can diffuse situations.
Tell
I
me
mean,
what
don't get
that
me wrong.
401k look like. That's what's
Right.
gonna get me going.
I don't want somebody that's out and about just being a menace all the time. Like, no, like
Mhm.
let's talk about what really matters.
Like we are almost 50
W in
years
Audi
old.
Right. Like what?
because you said you buying
Who are
it.
you
So pick
fighting?
one.
Mm.
So this man chose the Audi. So he takes me to the dealership. I wanted a white Q8. He does the give me the printout of how much it's going to cost, tax tag and title, to get this Q8. Gentleman who's helping us gives him the printout. He's saying he's going to pay this money for the car out of the savings account. That's
Hey, yeah, Michelle.
I feel like it
Can we
doubled
go
up.
over this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go past. Um, let's see here.
that we need. I didn't think anything of it. He called me at work the next day to tell
Yeah,
me
that's what we
that the
were.
money was sent to Audi. That he
Okay,
called Audi.
yeah, we did that.
By this point, I will be honest, and I told y'all I'll be honest even when it makes
Oh
me
yeah,
look
they
bad.
doubled it up.
I was
Okay,
Okay.
guilty.
okay.
He knows you will never get. So
So okay, so let's see. Oh, we're almost at 2 hours. What do y'all want to
We're
do?
almost at the
We
two.
can, yeah,
Okay,
we'll stop it
so
there then.
okay. So hold
I
on
think
1 second.
tomorrow
I
we'll
think I got a
continue.
little taste of something for you. Cause I've been saving up my shit. I've been saving up my shit. I got a whole list called Nova shit. Okay. Hold on, I'm about to send you something.
And this
Uh
story just gets wilder and wilder and wilder. And by the end, you're like, how, Sway?
Yeah,
How?
I
ooh,
and we'll
And
don't
be
make me
back
look
you
at
know
tomorrow.
what?
I
I'm
think.
not gonna lie. As a younger person, I probably would have
Hmm.
fell for a lot of that stuff. I would have fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker, because you're young, you're naive. But it seems like she was a little. How old is she? Is what I need to know.
she's in her 40s. I
Yeah,
think
I don't think
yeah, I
She's
she
in
think
her
was.
she's like
40s
early 40s.
now. Okay, so
Yeah.
she's probably my age.
Mhm.
And in 2020, I don't know if I would have fell for that. But again, when you are longing for companionship, y'all, this is
Mhm.
what we have to understand. People will do the craziest stuff to
Hmm.
to finally have their turn at the
Yep.
table. You know, like
Yeah,
be that one to find their person, to get married, to have a baby, to look for a house, to look for a car. Women long for that because that's what we're taught since we're born, you
First
know?
toy
yeah,
you get is a baby in a playhouse.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I can understand her being so, and her
Eager.
her self-esteem, had to have
Mhm.
been in
I
the
was about to
toilet.
ask that. Yeah, like what was her
Yeah.
It,
self esteem
it had
like
to have been
beforehand?
in the toilet, and she just wanted to be somebody's person.
Mhm.
And it
Hmm.
just shows that, and I'm glad she's telling the story because, she's getting a lot of grief and flack for this, people calling her stupid, she's an idiot and all that stuff.
She's
But
lacing
there are
up ladies though.
but
You know what I
there are
mean?
also so many women out there who are going through this right now
Mhm.
that needed to hear this lady's story and be like, "You know what? Maybe I do need to just be by myself," type of thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
and pay attention to these red flags and not be so, because yeah, I think we've all dated someone who things just the math ain't mathing with them. You're like
Mhm.
Yeah,
something ain't right
yeah.
about this person. Like
And
it's
it's,
off.
it's not an excuse. I see Kitty Moore saying, "Nah, people are just dumb." People are dumb. But there are some people out
There's
there who dumb and desperate, I think, are two different
Hard.
things.
Yeah,
You
mhm.
know, you could just be dumb and do dumb stuff, but being desperate can, cause you to make some really bad decisions. Can cause you to be, I
Listen,
guess, dumb. So I guess they go
yeah,
hand
I
in
got
hand.
somebody who has some real good relationship advice for us because we're on relationships and we've heard the woman's point of view,
Girl,
and
this
I
better
think
not
it's
be no
only
you.
fair. I think it's only fair we listen to a man
Better not be
and
no
how he
you.
thinks.
you know who it is.
You
It's
already
just,
know who it
oh no.
You know who the fuck it is.
is. Yeah,
Mr.
Uncle D. Roy.
D-Roy here to let y'all know what you need to know about
Mm,
success in dating
yeah.
and
Listen,
relationships.
keep it glued, ladies. Keep it glued.
Keep it glued. Keep it sealed.
Hi, this is Deroy
Oh
Cruz.
shit.
Want to talk about what's going on in the world today with the
Tell
sexual
us.
revolution real quickly. I'm talking mainly to the
Sexual
ladies
revolution?
because there's all this feminism going on today where women feel that it's all about, you know, rape culture and
What?
men getting over on
What?
women. And
This
then the
is not
women
a good angle
are
for
out
you, D.
there.
It's
Mm.
not.
It's not a good angle,
But
my
I'm
brother.
loving the hobo chic home decor. It's just on point. You know what I
Is
mean? We
that a
got
Is that
plastic.
plastic
plastic?
door cover?
Right, I was about to ask that.
That's the plastic bags to keep the elements out. You know what I
It is.
mean?
It's insulation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Getting smashed, and it's a thing now. They call it smashing.
Oh,
And these women are purposely going out and getting smashed. And
Mm.
you know, hey, how you doing, bud?
People are talking to him. No.
he closed the door.
Well, that ruins that. But these women are purposely going out and getting smashed. And
He's so miserable.
talking, you know, a friend of mine at work today, we were talking about. Make sure my food ain't coming.
Get
Friend of
it,
mine
get
at
it.
work
Oh
today,
my
we were talking
You got to speed
about,
him up.
you
For
know,
real.
he
Girl.
broke up with his girlfriend, and
Let me speed him up. Oh,
because he, you know, goes out and he
Can we
travels with
get a top
bands and stuff
angle,
like that,
D-Roy?
he met these ladies overnight.
what happened?
No, I was just asking him if we can get a top angle and not this bottom
Oh
under
God,
here, because this
Ah,
is killing me.
the nostrils.
please. I always say there's like a generation of people that just don't know what to do with the internet. Like they don't
Mm-mm.
know what they're doing on here. They share too much. They give bad angles. It's just
He's like
bad.
my mom when we face chat. My mama forgets she
Right?
on face chat,
All
so
up in the nostrils.
she puts it in her mouth like she's talking. Yes,
They
well, I was
got it like
telling
this.
you, I'm like,
Yeah.
mama, please back it up, please.
Mm.
We want to see your
Mm.
face.
Night,
Mm.
and he met one that was looking for a serious relationship, but she was going to bed with him like instantly.
Mm.
See, that's the problem. Okay. And then another one, she was such a whore, she was sending him naked pictures of herself.
Not
Okay,
naked.
nude pictures of herself, and she wasn't even really. I don't think he slept with her. I think they was just talking about it, and he thought he was going to do it, and then he changed his mind because the other girl. And now he has explained to two women which one he's going to pick between two serious women. He's got a girlfriend who hasn't
Here
completely
we
dumped him
go.
yet, but she's thinking about it.
Now he
He's thinking
sounds
about dumping
normal.
her, and then he's got this girl who is looking for a long-term relationship. Okay, got to watch for my food. And she, you know, to me, she seems to be very
God damn
naive
it,
about it. You know
Deroy.
what I mean? She's calling him. She's got him up all night. She's calling him at work. She's putting too much into it. You know what I mean? This is what I want to say. Ladies, men don't care so much about my food's here.
Sweet
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Look at this. Let me
Oh
buzz.
my God.
So what I want to say to the ladies mainly is that, ladies, men have not changed. They have not become more perverted. We've all become more perverted. Okay. Men have not created feminism. Okay. Men have not, you know, everybody's changing because of why? We've gotten rid of the laws of the American sexual culture that we once were in.
What?
Not just the men, but the women too. Nobody's forcing women into prostitution. Nobody's forcing women into fornication. Nobody's forcing women into,
Really?
you know, degrading themselves and giving a man anything before the right time.
What?
Back when I was a youngster,
Were those
women
laws
would
before?
make
I'm
men
so
go through
confused.
loops before they.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
Laws.
if I'm not mistaken, Vince McMahon is in a lawsuit right now for doing that exact thing.
Yeah. Like how
Indeed.
many people do we know now that like we grew up maybe seeing or whatever that are like having a moment where people are just like exposing everything about them. Like,
P
what?
Diddy.
Right.
before they could get a
Vince
first,
McMahon. Like, there's a few people.
night of sex. They make them go for a while. They made them, be patient for it. And they made the man prove
Yeah,
that.
and with all of that waiting and with all of that, I was just watching a Red Pill guy yesterday. He was talking about how like women don't have any dignity anymore and they're doing OnlyFans and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, because with all of that respectability shit that was actually put on women to like value them, right? Because as close to being virginal as you was is how valuable you was back in the day. Like, and with all that, they still got cheated on, and with all that, they still got left. You know what I mean? They were years into a marriage and had nothing to show for it, no career, no nothing. So yeah, women were like, fuck it. Like, I'm not. What's the point? I'm withholding and to some degree, half the time it was getting trash D from the husband on
Yes.
top of it all. Like,
You and your
what?
you and your pencil wieners think you throwing
Right,
down just because you paying bills. No wonder I was sleeping with the milkman.
right, exactly.
Some
that
of y'all mamas
she was
was
the
hoes,
one
is all I'm saying.
before they ever.
And some of y'all mamas, some of you, because I hear like the grandparents and all that shit often being brought into it. Some of them were fucking miserable. They just had nowhere to go.
It
They
was
didn't have no
illegal
work
to get divorced.
history.
Yeah.
Right. Or they didn't have no work history. They didn't have no bank account. They didn't know how to do the books. They didn't know how to pay the bills. So what they had to do, they just stuck around with it. And if they got an occasional backhand, they dealt with it. They wasn't happy.
Yep.
Yep.
ever lay down with them, okay, before she ever lay down with them, women have to come back to treating their V, that thing between their legs, that beautiful place between their legs.
Not the
Men love
beautiful
to
place.
park there. They love to hang out there. And they love to stare at it. And they love to hang out there. And they love to talk about
Who
it.
is staring at their
They
V?
talk about it. We got to go back to the days of making men work for it and put a ring on it. We got to go back to the days of making the men work for it
Better not
and put
put
a ring on
my
it. Until you do that, ladies, keep your mouth shut. Don't complain. Don't say that men created feminism.
Your
Don't say
mouth
men are
shut.
dogs. Don't say as long as you're giving it up so easy. See, men have a different responsibility than women do, and the women have a different responsibility than men.
Giving it up easy.
To
Huh?
I'm like, shut your mouth and stop giving it up easy. What are you talking about, brother? Like,
Right.
He said you can't say nothing until you get a ring on your V.
but
That's what he
the
said.
thing. In relationships, when you're meeting somebody, at this point, we adults, sometimes sex is required up front. Okay. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. And a lot of, there are people out there that will wait, but there are people out there that will not wait. So
Yeah,
at
exactly.
that point, what are you gonna do? You can make a decision to wait, and then you could possibly be like, old girl meeting this dude getting pregnant, and or you could just be an adult and do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Like it comes with the territory, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird.
Listen, I'm not husbanding up nobody until I get to see that work. Okay, you got to put in some work. You're gonna have to make me water first before I even consider you as a potential forever mate. Okay,
I'm like,
you're gonna have a whole lot to live up to. So
right.
no,
I'm
go ahead.
kind of a prude, and I don't feel like, and I wouldn't wait. I'm a self-admitted like prude, and I'm not waiting. Fuck all that. I want to know that we have that kind of chemistry, because you can have all the chemistry in the world as friends, as whatever, but y'all just don't have it in the bedroom. So no, like I gotta know it's there everywhere. Like, no.
To act like men when it comes to sex and when it comes to getting into relationships. Why am I out here worried about me having the right pickup lines for a woman who was going to use me? Why am I out here worrying about the right thing to say?
Sir, you have plastic bags on your door. What are they using you for?
I can't with you. Shut up.
I'm just saying. The fuck are they using
to a woman
for?
That doesn't take me serious, and to me, I value my body. I value
bags.
Anything that I give a woman out of my heart or out of my body is all the same thing to me. Like I don't just smash. I don't just smash. I don't do that.
I don't
Whatever
just
I give to a woman, it's because she is special. It's because she is someone that I've had my eye on for a while, and I know her differently than I know the other women. I feel about her differently than I feel about the other women.
Now that's a good
Okay,
trait to have.
it's not just
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
trait to have. But all that other stuff you say is doo doo. Okay,
Mm,
like
Exactly. And it's like if that's what you're looking for, then look for someone who looks for the same. You can't shame
yeah.
people that don't want that into
no.
wanting it because that's what you want, you know?
Some
Who
like
taught
you
you?
said, people aren't on that level. Sometimes people aren't in the
Right.
same mind state as you, and you have to be okay with that. And maybe you might have to move on and look for the next one. Because
Yeah.
I'm
if
just
you're in
looking
a
to
place where you're
smash.
ready to get married and have kids, but the other person's in a place where, like Ms. Parker say, they just want to smash, you're not going to get them to want to get married and have kids right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And
If
I
I
think it's
talk to a
unfair to do
man,
that.
listen, if I talk to a man who's like, I ain't never had kids, I'm trying to have kids, I'm gonna tell him straight up, we can't be together. Because my
Yeah.
uterus is done.
Right.
She is
You're
for
not going to
show
have
now.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Mhm.
doing it.
That's a
Period. I
conversation that Channy and Rev should have had
didn't
Right.
mm,
that they
Yeah.
never had.
Whenever I start dating, I'm like, yeah, I don't plan on having kids past this point. And now I'm at the point where I don't plan on having kids, any more kids at all. My kid is a
period.
teenager. He's about, like I said, I want to be 40s and be able to travel and all this other shit. I'm not trying to start over. Like I've already had them. I've mother, I've been a mother for my 20s and my 30s. My
Hmm.
40s, I want to have some fun. like no, uh,
just smashing for me. It's not just getting my rocks off. It's not just casual sex between two adults for me. I don't do that. And I understand that your choice might be to do that. But when you break up with a woman, okay, and you've been
I like that.
looking at pictures of other women. I'm talking to the men now. When you break up with a woman and you've been looking at pictures of other women on TikTok and all like that, you think that doesn't affect your relationship. And maybe you have a woman that doesn't care, but trust me, it does affect your relationship because it affects how you act towards her. When you only got one precious woman at home that you're concerned about, you are going to do everything to make it work because that's the only way you'll ever get laid. That's the only way you'll ever look at a naked butt or anything because you're going to work it out with that
Not
woman.
the naked
That's
butt.
why it's important for men also to stop
Naked.
with the TikTok and stop with the porn and stop with the, letting these women wear
Okay.
wicked clothing around you.
Oh, not the wicked clothing.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
this is a good question though, and y'all can answer it in the chat as well. Do you think that if you're in a relationship, that looking at uh porn is like a form of cheating or a form of like infidelity, whatever?
Mm-mm. No. I mean, I think the
I
human eye
don't,
likes to see things. Period. Like if we're
Yeah.
we're in a relationship, me and Mr. Parker used to look at porn together all the time. I don't.
Mm,
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you
and
enjoying to look at something.
I am on the other end of the spectrum for that one.
Mhm.
I understand that you look at porn. I
mm.
am not happy or excited about that. I don't like that because I feel like now I'm under pressure to do better. And sometimes, and
You
some
thought
of
you
the
saw something. He
things,
want to come to bed, try it.
listen, some of the things that you watching, I just can't achieve those things. My
Yeah.
legs
Right.
don't move in those
Yeah.
different angles, and I just don't feel like I could live up to the body statuses. And a lot has just happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you shouldn't put that type of pressure on me. Okay,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
understand that.
I understand.
I like the
Now,
lights off. I'm just saying.
now, what about? Because I think there's a little bit of a difference, right? Because you have porn where more often, like these people that are there are like, there's a disconnect there, right? Like, there's no way to ever contact these people, right? Like,
Hmm.
essentially. And then you have things like OnlyFans and Instagram where you can see people half naked, and to some
Mhm.
degree,
Having
there
to
is
interact.
a way to contact them and there is a way
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
interact with them. Do you think that that's infidelity, or that's a form of infidelity, or would you be
It
more worried,
depends
I
on the
should say?
relationship. Like for
Yeah.
me, It really depends on my relationship. If we're in that type of
Mhm.
relationship where it's like, hey, I like to flirt, I like to do those types of things, and you're honest with me, I probably wouldn't have a problem. But if I come home and there's a $700 bill on the credit card and you done been chopping it up with this OnlyFans thing,
Right.
we're gonna have a
Right.
problem
We're
because
gonna
we're
have a
not talking
problem.
about those things. So
Right.
it's for me, it's about the honesty. Like I don't necessarily like I'm not a jealous type of person, but at the same time, if you're hiding it, now I have a reason to be
I
upset.
am. I'm a jealous type of person. I'm a
Me
Leo.
too.
I will maul a bitch.
Shut
Like,
it
don't
down.
listen, I don't like you looking at Instagram women. I don't like I just
Yeah.
I don't
I'm a
like it. It's
tourist.
not
Like
my
you're
thing.
mine. You don't
But
get to look at other
exactly. But if that's something that you like you said, Miss Parker, like if you're
people.
open to that and that's in your relationship and that's something that you guys do and that's something that you talk about and you discuss and it's, then that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that's the relationship that you built. But if we're on two
exactly.
ends of the spectrum, it's just like, you know, it's not gonna work.
You need to be
Yeah.
evenly yoked, like legit. Don't get with
Yes.
somebody. Okay, so here, this right here. I guess me and LA could never be together because I ain't never
No,
gonna stop looking at ass.
it's
Okay,
listen.
never. Listen,
Okay.
I'll knock
Well,
her
that's
down at
fine.
9 o'clock and be watching porn at 10. Okay,
That's
so
not gonna work. It's not
yeah,
gonna but that's okay.
but
I listen, I
yeah,
will find you somebody and support your relationship with that person as y'all
It ain't gonna
go,
happen. Well, yeah,
but
I
it ain't
agree.
gonna happen here.
Look, I'm a very jealous person. It
Me
must be the
too.
tourist in me, and we're not doing that. Like I,
No, ma'am. No,
it
ma'am.
it takes me a lot to even look at certain social media interactions and be like, okay, Nova, that's just on social media. Leave it alone. Because I start seeing people get too
Be
familiar.
like
I'm like,
be
oh
like,
no.
"Hold on. I know you didn't like that bitch's son's page. I know you didn't
What
like his
you
baby
mean
picture.
we? Like, why you talking to her like that?
Why you
Yato in the chat. Listen, me and Yato was looking at ass. We was waiting on LA when we was in Las Vegas. We were all hanging out together. Me and Yato was looking at all sorts of ass. I even went up to a bitch. I was
What's
like,
up,
"Hey,"
Yato?
I
My
was like,
dog
"Hey,
Yato. That's my dog
hey."
Oh
right
yeah.
there. Well,
And I just
good,
want to
'cause
put it on the
I'm glad
record.
that I don't
I'm
have
five.
much of it, so y'all weren't looking at mine. But y'all,
Oh, I was.
thank
Oh,
God I don't
please.
have much. Well,
Yes, I was.
the
Oh my
flatness must
God,
have been
the
appealing.
ass on LAAnime is
It's not that big.
amazing.
It's not that big.
It's
But thank
amazing.
you for gassing me. See, this is why we would work, because you gas me up. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
So let's
Oh yeah,
be
you're a Leo. Oh yeah, Leo's like for
gas me up.
their partner
I
to
wouldn't
yeah.
even need
Oh
a
yeah.
pillow. We be in bed. I'm just snuggled up on your butt. Like that's all I need. Them thighs.
Well,
Oh Jesus. Mm,
they are
that shit.
thighing. My
They
thighs
are
do thigh.
thighing. Yes.
The thighs
Yes.
be
They
They
do
are.
lying.
thigh. They do thigh.
All right, D Roy. Please make this shit make sense.
On you and shake their behind in front of you and make you feel that you got this freedom that we didn't have back in the 80s. You know what I mean? Because it's a lie. It's not. If you sure you can have sex, you can have more sex today, but you don't have more freedom today because when a man lays down with a woman, okay, the faster a man lays down with a woman, the faster that woman is going to put him, in subjection to her, or he's going to put her in subjection to him. Most of the
No.
time, the women see what happens. This is the bad mixture that we have today. We have sweethearted women stuck with bad guys, and we have good guys stuck with bad women. And people think that these two opposites attract. Yeah, they might attract sexually, but if you're looking for a relationship, they don't attract. Maybe for a minute, and then all hell breaks loose in very minimal time. What I'm saying to the ladies, now I'm back to the ladies. What I'm saying to the ladies is
Tell us.
men are more concerned about, and this is their right to be this concerned because, all of us
Just tell
being
us what you're
made
concerned
in the
about.
image of God, we have our two sides. We have our
Please.
masculine side and we have our feminine side.
Today.
Feminine,
Oh my God.
if a woman is really a woman, she will want a man that she can be submissive to. I'm not saying that you got to be
No.
submissive, but if you really, 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 really have respect for any man, you will become submissive eventually. If not immediately, over time, you will become submissive.
What is your
You cannot
definition of
obtain
submissive?
submissive.
I don't know.
Right.
He talked about
Yeah.
1980, so I'm a little nervous.
Right.
I
Like I'm not gonna be
mean,
submissive to you just because you have a dick. I think like
yeah,
what they're
like
using as submission is like a trust in that person. But I look at it like what's your skill set? If you're really
mhm,
good with finances, then I will trust you because I'm not
mhm.
necessarily that great with finances. So okay, fine.
Exactly.
I'll let you kind of I'll check on shit, but I'll kind of let you, take the reins on this one. If I'm good at, whatever the like, then trust me on that. Like,
Give and
I
take.
think there's a submission there, but like this idea of submission is so antiquated, and they love to use that. And I'm not gonna trust you if the last time you drove a car you ran us over a cliff. You know what I mean? You're
Exactly.
not driving no more cars. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
done. you
Mm.
know, I mean, it's like old girl, right? She trusted him to
Yep.
do shit with the house. It never
Right.
happened.
Right.
So the next time
I,
around,
I
we're not
agree with
trusting like
you.
that.
I agree with you, Taylor Noir. Like submissive does vary. Like you can be submissive to your man and stuff like that. And but it's
Mm-hmm.
not about being, like she said, being a doormat either. It's like I'm not sitting here on the ground waiting for you to put my collar on. This isn't,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
some type of thing. Like and like explain what you mean by submissive because there's a lot of ways that I am submissive. I'll cook, I'll clean, but he also cooks and cleans. So does that make him submissive? I don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't get it. That's called a relationship. Last I checked, there's a
Mm-hmm.
there's a down in it, but he doesn't. I'm not his piece of property, which I think a lot of the times when D-Roy is talking
Yes.
about a woman
Yes.
being submissive, he's talking about her as if she's a piece of property to that man.
He owns her. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm
and I
gonna
think
trust
that's
the
not
almighty dick to make all the decisions.
because they make the best decisions. Yeah. Okay.
They have
Last
two
time I
heads, though. Two
last
heads are
time
better than one.
but last time I checked, it wasn't the dickhead that made the proper decisions. It was the
Mm-mm.
actual one with the brain in it. So
Yes.
Submissiveness, you're no good for anybody. You're not going to be good for anybody if you cannot obtain submissiveness. Okay, you won't be good for anybody. Okay, if a woman doesn't feel that she could ever be submissive to a man, she'll never ever be good for anything but sex. Because women were designed to be submissive. Men were designed to be leaders. Men were designed to lead their homes. I don't care if he's not a leader in business. I don't care if he's not a leader in construction or fixing toilets or plumbing or fixing cars. Okay, or being an engineer of some kind, and running a big corporation or something like that. No, a man is always, I don't care if he's the most skinny, puny thing you ever want to meet. A man is designed to lead his home. A lot of men don't understand why they get in trouble with women when their women seem like, everything's fine. It's because they have decided not to follow the script to lead like you're supposed to. Okay, and women are supposed to look for a man that they can be submissive to. If you can't be submissive to your man, then you're not ready to be with one. And I don't care if you're with one right now. Okay. Every time y'all have a fight, every time you get mad at him, every time he spends the night at somebody else's.
What happened?
I said, take note, bitches.
Uh-huh.
He said, I don't care if you're in a relationship right now. If you can't be submissive, he ain't the right man.
Yeah.
So both of
don't
y'all
matter
need to be
if y'all-
barefoot in the kitchen right now. Y'all out here fucking up.
okay.
House,
Right?
you kick him out of the bedroom, put him in the doghouse, whatever you
I
do.
guess.
I guess, and that's why you're divorced, and I've been in a relationship as long as I've been in. But okay, whatever. It's cool. I don't want to throw things in people's faces, but it kills me when people who aren't successful in things want to tell
Yes.
you how to be successful in things. It doesn't matter
Right.
whether it be relationships, a certain job, a certain skill set. If you're not successful in that and you don't know what you're talking about, then please don't advise me on what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. That's just you talking as a modern woman, though. That's the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
guy
you're right.
right here,
It's
divorced,
that feminism got
can
to
lead
you.
Oh
you
my
to
goodness.
to the promised land.
I need to know
Yeah.
my place because clearly I'm out of order.
Exactly. You are all over the place.
My goodness.
You can blame it on your lack of submissiveness.
There you go.
Blame it on
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You can blame it on your lack of submissiveness. But women, you want authority in your life. You want to overpower these men that might be a part of rape culture or a part of smash culture or a part of, playing games and all like this. And again, ladies, I'm watching TikTok and I'm watching YouTube and I'm like, the way these women get on, video and talk, they're only talking like that because they're on video. And they think that what you think you're going to get, you think you're going to get some big star to come looking for you because you get on TikTok or get on YouTube and talk like a slut. These guys are not even watching YouTube. These guys are not even watching TikTok. The guy that you really want to be with doesn't even watch TikTok. The guy that you really want to be with doesn't even look at YouTube, except maybe to look at some self-help stuff on there. But real
Into the
businessmen, real
eyes.
high maintenance, high quality men don't have time for sugar babies.
Like him, he's
Okay, you want to be a sugar baby, or do you want to be a
He's a high
woman
value
that
man.
is treated like a jewel and treated like a value? It's up to you. Are you a value, or are you a slut?
oh my
There's
god.
not a whole bunch of different types of women. You have the woman that's
Okay,
seeking marriage and
Leroy, well,
seeking
are you an
to submit as a
upstanding
wife.
man
You
or
have
are you a part of rape culture? You tell me, because the
Right,
shit
you're
that you
like,
saying sure does sound like rape culture
And
and
he said it
incels
twice.
and all of that. Yes.
Yes.
You want a high quality man
right.
and you want a man that's in the rape culture. Wait, but you're
What?
explaining the same man in the same thing. So how
Yeah,
is there a
Mm.
difference?
these are
Men that
like the
be on
same guys. Okay.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say these are like the same guys that will talk like negatively about like the idea of toxic masculinity, but then talk about like how high the the rate of men
Mm.
unaliving themselves are, right? Like not
Mhm.
realizing they're advocating for the same thing in a way,
The
and it's
same
like
thing.
that whole thing is just a matter of understanding consent, like, and they often talk about it as if it's this negative thing. If you have like the reality is like if you have a daughter or even a son, right, like they're not gonna stay quote unquote, like they're not gonna stay untouched forever, right? Like
Right.
at some point
Exactly.
they're going to want to do something. So why not arm them with the understanding of consent, with the understanding of protecting themselves, with the all of that, so that they can go out into the world and not do this to people or have it done to them. And for young boys, I think for a long time coercion was
Mhm.
Was
not
considered
understood.
normal. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like you
And we
bully
can.
girls into kissing you, bully
Mhm,
girls into being with you, and we
mhm.
allowed it for so long. So you have an
Right, it's
entire
reinforced.
yeah,
Yep.
you got like this whole generation of men, especially when we were growing up in the 80s and the
Yeah.
90s, it
Mhm.
seemed to be normal. Motherfuckers thought that was real. And that's what D Roy is mad about. He's mad
Right.
that women can say no. Women don't have to succumb to you
Right.
anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
People listen to women. Lord forbid the Me Too movement changed motherfuckers' perspective.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
See, this is also why why men can't come out and express their instances of being taken advantage of,
yes.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
and that's the problem, because
Yeah.
there are tons of men out there being taken advantage of
Yep.
Yes.
And don't
Yes.
know how to deal with it.
and don't know how to deal with it,
Yep.
so it goes both ways.
There was a video that was circulating on Twitter not too long ago. I think it was it in New Orleans? I think it was. It was a young guy. He seemed to be like out of it. I don't know if he was on. Probably was a mix of drugs and like alcohol or whatever. But then they appeared to be homeless, both of them. But he was out of it, and then the woman was on top of him, seemingly like
My goodness.
riding him,
Mm-hmm.
and people were sharing it. And somebody finally shared it and was like, "Are we not gonna talk about how this young man, like how this guy
Being
was
assaulted.
literally
Right, how this is
assaulted
not
in front of
okay.
us?"
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, yeah, like there are a lot of young men that also go through that, but they don't want to say anything because then they're gonna be looked at as
Well,
soft or
it's like
whatever.
this. It's like the Terry Crews effect. This, what
Yeah.
they completely destroyed Terry Crews when he came out and
Yep.
spoke about his instant of being molested by this major,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
person in
They
this
tried
high
to
status.
demasculate him.
And
Yep.
then, yeah, and then Christian Keys came out with his story, and now he's
Hmm.
gone very quiet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
He hasn't said
That.
anything else, and that's sad.
Right.
Because there's a lot of men out there that they're slowly trickling, throwing out the information. But
Hmm.
this entertainment business is taking advantage of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And some of these guys, I think something that they have to come to understand is like a woman could go out there and have sex with 100 men. That does not mean that you are deserving of that from her.
Thank you.
At
She
all.
can
At
do
all.
that and still say no to you. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that
And the
then
other
you.
way around. And the other
Yes,
way around.
yes,
That man is not obligated to be with you.
right. Oh
Mm-hmm.
That man
yeah,
is not
because that
obligated
happens
to give
too.
you
Yep.
nothing. It's just like these women out here molesting these actors at the conventions. Like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
just because
Yep.
that man is there and you paid to get a selfie with him does not mean you get to touch him in inappropriate places.
Exactly. They did that to poor little Justin Bieber when he was a kid. I don't know
Yes.
how many grown ass women was groping on that little boy, 16, 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
nobody talks about that because it was
Yep.
clear and I mean, you know, when the British boy band, all the boy bands,
All the boy bands. Yes.
all the boy bands were little boys when they came out, being, you know,
Mhm.
ogled by these grown women, and you know, craziness.
Yeah, this too. It doesn't make her any less of a good woman either, right?
Mhm.
Just because she decided to go do that doesn't mean that her value as a person is lower than the woman who has had two sexual partners. They could just want very different things.
Yeah.
Yato, fuck you. Hold on. Yato's out here talking about it also isn't fair to fuck 100 men and turn to Jesus after I get your number.
Well,
Yato.
Yato. Yeah,
Fuck,
Ellie.
man, shut up, Yato.
That's
Shut the
all I
fuck up.
had was Yato. Yato.
Play D-Roy. Play the goddamn beam footage. Fucking Yato.
You have the woman who practices fornication, okay, and ends up breaking up with several partners before she gets it right, okay, and then you have women who are just openly and honest about being sluts. Which is it? You can't have all three.
Yes, you
can't.
can. No, we're not monolithic. Yes, you can
Yeah.
have all three types of women in the
There's
same
lots of types of
society.
women.
It
Yes.
happens.
There's a lot of us.
You have the
There's a
people,
lot of different types of people, human beings.
right?
Period.
Exactly. We just had three different types of opinions about the porn
I'm
stuff.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm,
We had a
You can't
with
have all.
it, we had a
That's what I'm
meh,
gonna
and
say.
we had a not with it at all. You know, we had
exactly.
right?
You can't have all three. You got to make up your mind which one you want,
No,
okay?
no.
But if you're a woman who wants to be respected by men, you need to quit talking about being respected and quit trying to dominate men and close your legs. By you closing your legs, you become the dominant one. You become the powerful one. You become the one who has choices over her choices. You become the one that has a right to make her own choices. Close your daggone legs and stop
but you
going
just
after
told me to
men
be
that are
submissive.
easy to smash.
So am I supposed to be submissive or am I supposed to close my legs? I'm trying to
Okay.
understand.
So what he's saying is you're supposed to close your legs to gain power over men. But if you got your legs open, you can't pick and choose who you fuck because your legs are open. So everybody can come in there.
Right, which is advocating for grape
Exactly.
culture.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because what?
Yeah.
Look at his
Smash.
face. He looks insane.
I know, isn't it good?
He looks out
He
of
is
his
now
mind.
listen, it's because he is really trying to get this message out here.
He
Okay.
is.
He's trying
trying to
to
teach
talk to
us.
our souls. Look at his eyes. He's seeing into our soul. I'm
It's
trying to
the face
tell
you
you
make when you finally get into the pleasure cave.
when you use that makeup remover to get that glue off of there.
Get the glue off. Oh shit, the seal is broken.
Oh my god.
Okay, no man should be looking for any easy woman, and no woman should be looking for any easy man. And a lot of y'all was easy when y'all met, and then y'all fell in love. But you wonder why you're still having problems. It's because you're still easy. It's because you never repented of being easy.
What?
What?
Okay, you wonder why you can't stay with the man that you're with, and why every little thing about him that ain't perfect bothers you, and vice versa. He wonders why every little thing about you bothers him that ain't perfect. When we know that none of us are perfect. And we choose to be with somebody that's not perfect. But what's the problem? The problem is you never repented of being easy. You never repented of being a slut. You never repented of being a slut maker.
Oh, a slut maker. Okay. So there's a part of that. There's a part of that is true, right? Not the way he's putting it. I do think that there are people who make and we saw it with old girl, right, in the videos where they're making these huge
Get
decisions for
digmatized.
someone based off just
Mhm.
the dig game or whatever. And
Yeah.
like there is some truth to that where it's like, hey, you should spend some time getting to know a person that you're gonna make these decisions with, or if you want to have a relationship with them, not just how you get, how you are sexually to each other. But you don't have to
Mhm.
repent. Like it's not like it's
You
just
better
like
pray to Jesus for this pussy.
it's not a
I
wrong
need
thing
you to
that you do.
sacrifice a goat to get in my pleasure cave.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a religious person, and I didn't think you had to repent for your wholeness before you
Right.
got into a real relationship. It's like
Well, it sounds like you need
got with
to.
before I got with my guy, I didn't repent, and we doing okay so far. So I don't know.
I'm gonna need you to sacrifice a
Crazy.
chicken. Listen, before your husband come home, just have a chicken and be like, I'm sacrificing this chicken tonight for our relationship.
Listen,
See what he says.
I'm from New Orleans. There's the voodoo down here, so don't
Exactly. He
play
probably
about no
never come home
chickens.
again. Yeah, never
Chickens
mind.
and spaghetti. You better look out. Okay.
Oh man, spaghettis. Cause we, yeah, cause we got what?
Hmm.
Well, brujeria is the same thing
Yeah.
as or
Mhm.
santeria, whatever. Like, yeah, the spaghettis.
Watch that
That's
spaghetti,
spaghetti.
son.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
be eating them spaghettis. I'll be like, my girl cooks some good spaghettis. Then,
Yes, you do.
I bet
Yes,
she do.
you
yeah, she
Bet
the
she
fuck
do.
do.
does.
Got him.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, give you that vampire spaghetti up in there
Mm.
with
I
all
make
the
it every
vitamins and
28
protein.
days. He don't even know. He
Don't
can't
even
wait for spaghetti night.
some of y'all in chat are gonna be like, I'm never eating spaghetti again.
Got that special herbs and spices. Mm.
Spices is right.
Look at Taco. Damn, Taco, don't ruin it.
Don't tell him.
Oh,
Everybody
Those are
has
Taco.
to
secret.
simmer down and decide that they want to make choices. You want to have mature choices that are going to give you a long-term happiness in your life, then you need to understand that long-term happiness is not really about sex outside marriage. And I'm not saying that everybody's got to get married, but I am kind of saying you should get married before having sex. But sex is for married people. It's not for people that want to go out on dates. It's not for people who just want to play two handsome guys against each other or two fine-looking women against each other. It's for married people, people that are willing to sacrifice their beauty for a long-term marriage, sacrifice their handsomeness for a long-term marriage. But
I'm not
before you
sacrificing my
even get there, you need to make a choice to make people respect you by closing down your sex oasis and let that be the last
sex
thing on the list.
oasis.
Don't have sex
Oh,
with people before you know.
Sex Oasis. Hell
that's my
yeah.
stripper name. That's gonna be my stripper
Yeah.
name. Sex Oasis
That,
coming to the stage. Yeah.
yeah.
The people and that you're in love with the people you sleep with. But what's the difference between a woman who is having sex for free and a woman who's a prostitute? Don't you know that a lot of prostitutes expect a man to take them out and wine and dine them before having sex with?
Bitch, one of
So
them
what's the
getting
difference
paid.
between a
That's
lot of
the
women
I don't know
today?
what kind of prostitutes you talking to. First of all, the difference between a prostitute and a
And
chick
an
having sex
escort?
for money. Yeah, no, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general. The difference
Oh,
between a prostitute and a bitch going on a date and having sex is the money. A prostitute's
hello.
gonna charge you if you're going on a date. We're just going on a date, and I thought you was cool, so I wanted to slide up on it real quick. That's all. It's
Well, and then
easy.
another big difference is the emotional attachment. I'm actually trying to get to know you. A prostitute ain't trying to get to
right.
know you.
And why
Right.
are you taking prostitutes out on dates, nigga? You doing it wrong.
Last
Like
time
who
I checked, they
does
don't go
that?
on dates.
Ain't it
Yeah,
charged by like the hour with prostitutes?
exactly.
But wait,
You're
that's an
doing it wrong.
escort. An escort goes
Yeah.
on the dates. The prostitute doesn't, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
That's
pull
how I
up
do
on a
it.
prostitute. You can get them delivered. I don't know what you're talking about.
D-Roy tricking off of prostitutes, losing his time. He could be busting the extra nut. You
That's
over
why he
here
Exactly.
mad. That's
That's
why he
why
mad.
that's why he mad.
eating spaghetti with prostitutes.
Bitch.
In the corporate
I'm
ladder that are
dead.
going out with guys and then getting on YouTube and expressing their feminism and complaining about, the guys that they go out with and how these guys ruin their hearts and break their hearts and so forth. What's the difference? Difference is you think that you can act like a prostitute but get different results. No, you're going to get the same results. You just got used. You never open your legs for someone that is not, first of all, your husband. And number two, you don't never open up your legs for somebody that you're not in love with or that is not in love with you, someone that you don't know. You don't even know where he's been for the last 2
No,
hours.
that's also very bad advice for like young people because
Yes.
it makes them think that if you have sex with someone that there has to be something afterwards. And some people you can have that with and then not want anything with them, and that's fine.
There is nothing wrong with a little strange. Okay? There is nothing
Yeah, just be
wrong
safe.
sliding up, getting some strange, and never talking to a motherfucker again. It was a great
Again,
night.
ever.
Okay? I've done it. It's wonderful. Some of my best nights were with men I don't even know.
Haven't we
Don't
all?
even know.
Yeah, just be safe and practice consent. That is it. That is it, and that is all. You don't have to be in love with the person, and you don't have to feel like you are now in love with them after you've done that. Because I
No
feel like that's
obligation.
a very yeah, like it gives a bad message to like younger people, and they
That's
get
why
caught
people
up.
are all obsessed. Yeah, like all of a sudden you get a piece of ass and then you calling every day. Don't call me. I'm
Right,
going through that right now. This nigga won't stop calling me. Don't call me. Why? What are we? We don't even have to talk no more. It was great. Thank you.
right,
Why are you
right.
calling? And I'm in a small
Yes,
town, so I can't get away from him. Every time I go to the Piggly Wiggly, he at the Piggly Wiggly. Ah, ah.
or thinking they damaged by one act. Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Right, like they damaged goods all of a second. All of a sudden, no, it's
Oh, okay, Taco. You one of them, huh? You ain't leaving, huh?
I be doing that sometimes too. Like, I'll stay a little longer.
I had it one time and I've been here 3 years later.
That's how Mr. Parker got me. This 10 years later. Listen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And now I have a 3-year-old.
Exactly. Lay it down real good one time, nigga. What year is this? You know?
13 years later. How did that
Yeah.
even happen? My God.
You don't know where he's been. You know, you don't know what his last job was. You don't even know his ex-girlfriend. You don't know anything about him. You don't even know exactly what he does for a living. How are you sleeping with him? I'm just trying to help you out.
Because I like his
But I am
George.
D-Roy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, D-Boy.
and D-Roy, y'all heard it here. Don't be
Yes.
opening your legs for random people if you're not gonna marry them. That's what we
Well,
Pleasure
want,
tunnel.
I'm far away from that one at this point in life.
right?
I need you to tell your husband tonight, just on the bed, lay down when y'all are nice and comfortable. Tell him he needs to enter your pleasure cave and see what he say. But you gotta say
Yeah.
it real serious. See what he say. Like, we need a report tomorrow. I gotta hear what he say.
Please.
You're gonna be like, girl, turn over and go to sleep. Okay. Ain't nobody here to play with your games. Your
Pleasure
old ass up and go to bed. You gotta get up early in the morning to get these kids to school. You playing.
Mo said, friendly reminder, D-Roy looks up to Jesse Lee Peterson, and most of these videos are him projecting his insecurities. Oh yeah, for sure.
Clearly.
You
Mhm.
could tell that he's not, he's just mad at his station and like, dating and stuff like that. I get it. I guess.
Oh, baby.
He gonna be all right though. He needs to change that phone angle, that camera angle though. I don't want to see the hairs in his nostrils. But
Oh, that's like for 3 years he does that.
but y'all, thank you for coming out. Thank you, LAAnime. You gotta come back. This
Yay,
is
thank
a
you
lot of
for having me. Just let me know, and I
oh yeah,
will be back for sure. This was great.
please. Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Mm.
Ms. Parker, you doing anything?
I'm open. My legs is open too.
Oh Lord, close
I am open.
your legs.
Mm.
uh, we'll
I'm
be
over
back.
here, just airing out my sex oasis.
We
Girl,
got
glue it up, cause your adhesive is too
okay,
loose.
and wash
Look,
the sex crumbs, all right?
I'm taking it to the shop. I'm gonna get them all fixed up. I'm taking it to the shop. Don't even trip.
okay, go ahead, get
um,
that tuned up, girl. Get it ready.
we'll be back tomorrow doing part. I think 10 to 15. I think
Yeah.
Midwest can be on tomorrow, so
Yes.
tune
Well, I
in.
will definitely be watching, honey. You know, this is the
Mm.
highlight of my day.
And
I
then yeah,
hope
and then you
Midwest is on camera with that pretty face. Mm.
oh, you heard it, Midwest. I don't know if he's still here. If he's not on the replay,
I just want to hold Hannibal's iron to the fire. He said he was gonna get a do Midwestern album this year for his birthday. So hopefully we get the Midwest album this
oh,
summer. That would be amazing, amazing. So y'all be on the
Delicious.
lookout for that. We got to stream it, got to stream it. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the Ultimate Comic Book Movie
yeah,
List
go ahead.
channel again. Check
Drop it
us out.
again.
We have a little bit of, everything for everybody. Even if you're not into comics, come check us out because we do have a good time reacting to different videos and stuff too. So we got a little bit of everything for everyone. So check it out. I gotta drop that. I
We're doing.
just clicked off. Let me figure out how to drop this again. Let's see.
Everybody's doing the
Yes, drop
thing.
it out. Drop it.
I'm on.
And
And I
I
do
got
not need WD-40 to open my legs, yo bastard.
like I said, Smoke Arena will be back in like a month or so. Y'all know I'm working on my PC situation, so when it comes back, it'll be a new format and everything. So I'm excited for that as well. But anyway, y'all, LA, you dropping that right now?
Yes. I
Okay,
just
all right, cool. All right, y'all. So thank y'all. Hope you guys have a good Thursday. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye,
Yes.
guys. Later.
Later.
Suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking? Are we talking? Are we spanking?
Damn.